Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart. This is the weekly podcast we do every Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk about Nintendo and all things around Nintendo. We're joined this week by Amanda from Mandy Lee Plays. She's been here before. Check her out. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me again.
Of course, it's always great having you. Yeah.
It's nice to talk to other people about, Nintendo stuff.
Of course, yeah. And guys, pay attention to her. She does great stuff. She has her own channel. She covers a lot of Nintendo stuff, a lot of gaming stuff, a lot of news related to all of that. And she does pretty much almost daily videos, right?
Oh, well, that I used to, but those days are long gone.
Okay.
Because I have to edit more, so.
Right. But you're pretty frequent though. So
yeah, I do like 2 or 3 a week.
Yeah, so definitely check her out, guys. The link to her channel is in the description below, as well as a link to Brandon's channel from What About Nintendo. You guys should know him if you've been on the podcast here before, but if you're new, check him out as well. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Ready to talk about some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, actually.
Pretty cool rumors and stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those, like, I'd say this like every week, and sometimes it's not true. Most of the time it is, though. It's like, I don't feel like it's going to be a lot of news, and then by the time the week is over, it's like, oh, wait. There's a lot to talk about.
It piles on.
Yeah, it really does. So there is definitely a whole smack ton of stuff to talk about. Hey there, Josh Sheriff. I we actually went live. So if he's here or not, hello. Hey, Super Chris, what's up, man? Sabbath64, Alexander, Zulohiko. How's it going, guys? But I guess before we get started, I kind of want to talk about these posters I got from Comic-Con. Just give me a second.
Ooh.
I don't know why I grunt. I think I just do it because I'm awkward. But, like, I feel like some of these posters I got from Comic-Con are, like, either A, unique or really hard to come by. So I got, like, this one, right? Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. Oh, you're going to be blown away in a moment. It's coming. It's not yet, though, but this is still pretty cool. I got this Pokemon one as well.
Oh, that one's nice.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
I like it.
And then and this one actually goes really well with the Mario one I just showed you, because for Zelda.
Yeah, it's the same kind of art style.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The glare is kind of getting in the way, but you guys can probably make it out. And then I haven't unwrapped this one yet, but I was thinking that this had to be worth way more money because it looks so big and so great. And the guy said 10. I was like, 10 what? Like $100? And he was like, no, $10. And I was like, liar. I was like, I have to buy this. Right, so just to give you an idea of the that's the size. Right, this is the back. I'm gonna flip it over.
That's big.
And this is an entire map of freaking Hyrule. But it's like a few years old, so it's not from Breath of the Wild,
right.
But it covers more than any particular game, though. It actually matches up pretty well to Breath of the Wild, though. Minus a couple things.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
actually, I think I have a smaller version. Like that's huge. I think I have a smaller version of that that's not hung up yet.
I'm gonna be putting. I'm just
that
surprised.
That looks like it's
$10.
about as big as my biggest poster, but maybe like the other oriented. Maybe bigger actually. That one's pretty huge.
I would say this is like 3 by 5, 3 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah, mine's similar to that. So that's about the same size. That's huge, dude.
Yeah, I would want one like where my world map is. I would want to use that for the Hyrule map.
No, that seems about the same size actually. Now to look at your background, yeah. No, it's really cool. And it's super detailed. It has like a lot. I think it's pretty much pulled it from Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, and Skyward Sword all together. And interestingly, because Breath of the Wild has so many nods for all the different games, it seems to match relatively well to Breath of the Wild as well. Like, except for like the placement of like the Lost Woods. Like the Lost Woods here is like south of Hyrule Castle, while in Breath of the Wild it's north of Hyrule Castle. But aside from that, it's pretty close.
Yeah, most of the games have it in the south, I think, from what I remember. Well, not Link to the Past had it up to the north. I don't know. It's about 50.
A Link to the Past, it was northwest. It was northwest.
Ocarina of Time had it just direct north. A couple games.
You mean
or
just
south? I meant south.
Yeah, south from the castle. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little weird. And then Twilight Princess, it didn't exist. It was sort of existed. But yeah, no, it was really cool. And yeah, guys, I'm glad you guys liked my cosplay. I'm not going to put pictures up here because I didn't get it before, and I'm going to be putting up more on Instagram. But yeah, if you want to see, I cosplayed as Luffy from One Piece. So
yeah, you did that good. You kind of nailed his skin tone, his skinniness.
yeah, we're like the same person, just different realities, basically.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, it's basically, I guess it's because, like, I'm Cuban, right? So, like, he's like an islander, right? So it would kind of match up in terms of, like, black hair, tan skin. So, and I love One Piece, so I thought it was a pretty good, it would be a pretty good costume to try to actually get pretty well. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. But, yeah, you guys can check out pictures of that on Instagram if you're interested.
You can actually get an Instagram.
Yeah, the link is in the description below. You can still look at the profile, though.
Different social medias.
I don't think my account is private, so you can still look at the pictures if you don't want to get an Instagram. But, yeah. So let me see what's going on here. But yeah, anyways, I had a good time at Comic-Con. It was pretty cool. I didn't get to play any game demos, but I did like see Jump Force they did have game demos for Jump Force. If you guys don't know what Jump Force is, it's kind of like Smash Brothers but for anime, and it's in 3D, and it's like with the Unreal Engine, it's like super like realistic. So you have like a super realistic like Luffy and Goku and Bleach, and like there's a lot of anime characters that are in it. I think even I haven't seen this for sure, but I think I even heard that Ruby is in it, and Ruby's not even technically an anime, but like they're like super popular. So yeah, no, it looked really good. Yeah, and I had a great time. I can't wait to go again next year and probably start going to other Comic-Cons or other conventions.
Yeah,
so.
I need to go to my first convention, but there's nothing ever here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go, but all the ones I want to go, they're pretty far away. And I want to go with people, so it's like...
Exactly.
Yeah, you should go with people.
Far away.
Definitely should go with people. It'd be weird to be by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can meet people that share your common interest, but it's kind of... Everyone goes in groups. I would imagine it'd be kind of hard to, like, meet people there and get comfortable enough to, like, walk around with them, right? So you kind of...
try to join their group. Like, hey, guys.
Hey, you've never met me before, but let me follow you around all your daily plans. Yeah. I don't think it'll work out. In most cases, at least. But, yeah, before this, the only, like, conventions... I guess technically I went to one other... like anime convention. I think it was called like Setsucon, but it wasn't like a major convention. It was just like a convention that was right next to the college I went to, Penn State, and I did a panel there because I was like at the time the vice president of the Pokemon Club, so we had like a Pokemon panel. That was a few years ago. Aside from that, the only conventions I've gone to are not really conventions, they're just Pokemon tournaments, right? But they do them in convention centers, so they're kind of like conventions because they have like shop booths and they sell stuff, and you have a whole bunch of people that do still dress up there. So there's a similar kind of like, you know, I guess theme going there. But this is the first time I went to like a full-scale like convention that's about being just straight up nerd and exploring all these different like stuff. So it was really cool. So I'm gonna try more.
That must be fun. I need to find more people in my area because
my hometown is Miami, right? You live in Miami?
Mhm.
I mean, if I'm ever there, we could go to convention sometime around there.
There's never a convention.
Never.
It is like just football, concerts. But
Basketball.
I've never that.
They have the Ultra. There's Ultra. I've never been a fan of Ultra, so I've never done that.
Yeah. Spring break is kind of crazy, so.
Yeah, I feel like there might be conventions like north or more north, like.
Yeah, Orlando. There's a
like
lot.
Orlando probably. They probably have some conventions.
The closest convention to me, they're usually in like Dallas and like places like that. Just like, why didn't you have it in Houston? Like, we have like 5 million people in this one city, and you just don't do anything here.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know, but I think we should try and do something. Brandon, I mean, weren't we trying to... I don't know if he's still trying to, but like I think like 6 months from now, is it
PAX.
PAX. I was gonna say Apex. Yeah. Yeah, PAX. Yeah, there's like a PAX that's gonna happen like in the northeastern United States. You would have to fly.
Yeah,
right?
I'd have to fly.
Yeah, but maybe you could fly here and then we could do a road trip and meet with Sean. I forgot Sean's name. Hey, Sean, we're gonna stay with you for your feet. You don't even know my name. What's wrong with you? Yeah, but anyways, it's pretty cool. But you know, it was one place I definitely want to go to. I'm in agreement with Sabbath here. I want to go to E3.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, especially next year, because it's gonna be Metroid Prime 4. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be all Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon. That's gonna be like last year it was Smash. The year before that was Mario. The year before that was Zelda. Next year, I'm willing to bet money it's gonna be about Metroid.
Right, Metroid. Maybe have some Luigi's Mansion stuff. That could be cool.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
As well.
Yeah. I just feel like Metroid's gonna be like Nintendo's like big holiday thing. You know what I mean?
I would hope.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Cause while I love Metroid, like it's not one of Nintendo's biggest IPs.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that Nintendo's going to make it their next big IP.
It's possible. They've done
Yeah.
it with other games like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it has the
Yeah.
budget for it. It has like
Oh.
the critical acclaim for it. It just doesn't have the sales, right?
The Switch could change that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the
That's true.
Switch has made like niche games into popular games.
Mhm.
I'm like, jeez.
That's very true.
Absolutely. But you know what's one IP that hasn't necessarily done so well in this current era? Dragalia Lost, and that's how we're going to segue into our first topic. So, I'm not going to go over the specifics, but basically Dragalia Lost, Nintendo's new IP they're doing on mobile, right? It came out like about a little over a week ago at this point. Like it's like what 9-10 days old already, and about a week, right? And it's basically the numbers for it, while not bad, are not as good as any of the other Nintendo IP that have released as mobile games. So basically, it's Nintendo's worst performing mobile game up to this point. So, what do you guys think about that? I mean, Amanda, I know you were telling me you haven't tried Dragalia Lost yet. You're not really a fan of mobile games in general. But, you know, what are your thoughts on Dragalia Lost just not doing as well as all the other mobile games? From Nintendo, I should say. It's still doing good, just not as good as all the Nintendo ones.
I think because Dragalia seems to be a JRPG of some sort, and that is very hard to get people on the mobile devices. Because games usually like Mario Run or Animal Crossing Pocket Camp are just, you know, pickups and press buttons, that's it. But Dragalia Lost, you don't want to be like in the middle of a story plot mode and then you have to put your phone down or something, or someone calls you and you're like, dang it. So that's probably why RPGs don't do well on the mobile phones, is my theory. Because just put it on the Switch. Like, it's right there.
Yeah, like, it's interesting because I almost feel like it would have had a better shot to succeed as an actual legitimate Japanese RPG on the Nintendo Switch, and then once it builds like that fan base, then move it to mobile, right? Because one of the reasons why all the mobile games do so well is because there's people know about it. You know, people know about what this is. Like, oh, I want to try out Mario on this. Like, a lot of people who don't even have Nintendo systems that, like, oh, haven't played Mario in a long time. Let me download this real Mario game on my phone, right? So I think that's kind of part of the point that helps sell them, because they have that legacy already. Which makes sense. I mean, I'm not surprised that Dragalia Lost is performing worse. But when I play Dragalia Lost, and I have to say, Dragalia Lost, I don't know if it's my favorite Nintendo mobile game, but it might be. After a certain amount of time, I might say it is, because it's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. The music is great. The art style is great. There's a lot of gameplay there. And, like, I feel like it deserves to perform just as well as those other Nintendo mobile games, because it's a quality product compared to those other mobile games, right? So I think over time it may catch up, because I think it also has like a good pay structure in terms of making a lot of money, right? So I think it could have similar success. Well, it has a similar structure to Fire Emblem, was it Heroes, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll be as successful because it lacks the legacy, but it could become really successful because it has a similar structure, and it is a pretty high quality game. So
I have a question. Is there a lot of like needing to buy stuff, like microtransactions?
don't need to buy anything, right? But it's one of those games where you can summon heroes, right? Like, you can make summons to get better heroes and dragons and like items and stuff. And like you can get loot within the game that gives you those resources to summon on your own, but if you want to get a lot, right, you want to get those special rare ones, you probably are gonna feel compelled to put in that money to buy more. You don't have to buy anything. Like I've gotten several summons on my own already, and I think the summons like you get some in-game characters already, so I don't even think you really need any of it to go through the story. But it's built in a way to where like people are gonna want to like buy more, like, you know, I guess of the currency to make more summons. So it's structured in a way where you don't need to do anything, but for those who really want to try and get the best, rarest summons, kind of like, you know, it's like what's that game? It's like a Dragon Ball game. It's like a Dragon Ball card game. It's really, really popular. What's it called? I don't know.
Dragon Ball?
No, there's like a super popular. If my cousin was watching, he's like, "Oh, how could you not forget? I talk about this game all the time. What's wrong with you, idiot?" But it's a really popular card game. I know there's a lot of. It's basically there's a lot of mobile games that are about like collecting these really rare like heroes and stuff like that, like Dragon Ball, like Fire Emblem heroes, right? So I think because of that element where people want to collect really rare summons, it will make a lot of money, but you don't have to do any of it.
Okay. Do they give like things like an Animal Crossing Pocket Camp? They ever give like a few prizes here and there?
So far, yeah. Every day I log in, I get some items. You know, it kind of, I guess it's encouraging me to log in every day to get some more like Wormidium or whatever the name of the currency is. It gives you some currency, and sometimes it gives you some items and stuff as well. So it's definitely encouraging me to come in, and it's giving me free stuff as I play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a typical mobile game,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
but it's like a JRPG. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that it was a JRPG, making it not do well. And I think a lot of people could, have that problem. Personally, I think if they actually tried the game, they'd find that the story segments are actually separated very well in a way that you can watch and it won't take you that long. So you can get the story and it's decent, but it doesn't take. There's not like a bajillion super lengthy cutscenes. So I think they do a pretty good job of not making it that. But I can see why a lot of people would think that if they've never played it before, because that's not information you would be privy to if you hadn't played it. So for me, I just think it's not doing well. Is because, as you said, it's harder for people to get into JRPGs, excuse me. And it's just not an established IP. It's a brand new IP. Nobody really knows what it's all about. It's already in a niche kind of category. And yeah, I mean, the people who have played it, obviously they love it because it has, 4.8 stars on the Apple Store right now. So it has super high ratings and people really enjoy it. But honestly, I've never once felt like I ever needed to even think about spending money. Of course, I haven't played it a bunch. I'm almost done with Chapter 1, I think. The Chapter 1's pretty long, though. Like, I played it several times. I'm still not done with Chapter 1.
Same.
Surprised me.
Yeah, same.
But I've never felt like I
pretty
ever
big.
needed to buy anything at all. So I was surprised it made $3 million. I was like, why are people buying stuff? I don't understand.
Yeah, so I mean, I could see, because it's new, I could see it maybe expanding a little bit through word of mouth, but it probably will never reach the levels for Fire Emblem. Not this time around. Maybe a few years from now if they have a sequel or something like that. Actually, just kind of an interesting question. Do you think we'll ever see this IP on actual real Nintendo systems?
I do. Like, if they see it's doing good on the mobile, they might just add it as a free-to-play game on the Switch.
Okay.
I mean, because why not?
Yeah.
That's just my whole thing. Like,
I wouldn't want that, but I was kind of hoping maybe more for like taking the franchise and just creating a whole new game that's meant for like the Switch, right? Like creating like a full scale Japanese RPG with the Dragalia Lost branding. Like, how does that sound?
that sounds nice.
But will it happen?
I
doubt
guess
it.
I guess it'd be okay. I just don't. I'm not far enough into the game to really feel like a connection to the branding itself at all. So I just need to like beat the game. Maybe the story picks up. Like, there's some interesting things with the story. I'm like, oh, what's happening here? And just like kind of drawn in, but it's not like not super into it yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing it because I like the music.
music's nice.
I always turn my phone off silent when I play that game. That's the only time I have my phone off silent. My phone's always on silent 100% of the time. But yeah, you know, I guess we'll see how it goes. I think it's pretty much destined to never be as good as Fire Emblem Heroes, but it's still doing well, right? So we'll see. I mean, I think it's something that as the game progresses, it's gonna have updates. And this is not its only form, right? It's not its final form. It's going to grow as time goes on. So I'm sure it's still going to be a cash cow for Nintendo regardless. So yeah, good for them. Good for Dragalia Lost. Yeah. But let's see what you guys in the chat think.
That reminds me of the Kingdom Hearts mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kingdom Hearts Key or something. That game is like so long that people just look it up on YouTube because there is plot points that you need. So people just look it up on YouTube, but that game is a grind.
And this is a mobile game.
Yeah, like...
Well, I mean, I actually, you know what? Before I get to the chat, that's an interesting point because, like, as I'm playing Dragalia Lost, I'm not playing it like in long sessions. I don't feel super compelled. Like, oh, I need to know what happens next. I need to know what happens next. Like, the story isn't so compelling at this point that I feel like I need to know what happens next. If I never turn it on again, I probably won't feel bad about it. Like, because the story at this point is not super compelling. It's not bad. It's just kind of like, okay, this is cute. Right, so maybe it'll get better if I push myself past the first chapter. We'll see. I've kind of enjoyed, like, just kind of seeing how the game looks and plays and hearing it up to this point. I still haven't unlocked all the features. I'm still in chapter 1, so we'll see. But I mean, I guess that's an important thing to consider. I'm still in chapter 1. Brandon, you're still in chapter 1. The game's been out for over a week, right? So
they had to extend it, so it's gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's kind of, there's a lot to it, even though it's a mobile game. But I don't know. Maybe I'll have my final thoughts on it a week from now. But so far, I mean, since it's free, I suggest you try it out, right? But it's not a game changer yet. But yeah, let's see what you guys in the chat are saying. Hey, Sean. Hey, Kiki. Mauricio. Sora versus Geno. Who's your favorite? Geno. But I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so I do recognize Sora as a bigger deal. Like, Sora is like more of a, I mean, Sora is the main character for Kingdom Hearts, right? Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, but so if Sora got into Smash Brothers, Sora would be on the level of Cloud or Sonic or Mega Man or Ryu in terms of like, oh my god, he's in Smash Bros, right? Geno being in Smash Bros is kind of more like a character that's like a part of Nintendo's history, right? He's kind of more along the lines of like a Duck Hunt or an Isaac or like a Punch Out.
Nah, Wii Fit Trainer's just so low.
Wii Fit Trainer's more like,
doesn't even need to be there.
Wii Fit Trainer is a representative for the casuals that will never play Smash Brothers. It's just kind of, she's like a gag character. I'm glad she's there, right? But she's just weird, right? Like, I feel like people who are like Nintendo historians that care about Nintendo's past and like their classic games won't be like, oh man, it'd be great if Wii Fit Trainer was a part of the next Smash Brothers. Like, people were just like, when Sakura like showed her off, we were just all like, what? Really? Why is she wearing yoga pants? What? But, you know, it's a funny character at least. I like how she has like all these yoga moves, right? And she like, it's like all about like keeping, like, you know, like when she has to charge up the volleyball attack and you have to wait for the circle to get to the right placing. It's all about, I get what's, you know, like yoga and breathing and chi or whatever. So it's interesting, I guess. Mauricio's predictions for this week's Direct, because that's the thing. The first prediction is that there's going to be a Direct this week, and we'll get into that topic in a bit. But his predictions are Isaac from Golden Sun, Shadow as an Echo, Ken as an Echo, and Skull Kid. I would love that. It'd be perfect. I hope it happens. But yeah, who is it? Zuloiko is saying, in favor of Dragalia, the art style is pretty good. Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful game in terms of art style. So if you're just into like something really pretty with good music, Download this free game, Dragalia Lost.
Looks a lot better on your phone than it did in the direct.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's good.
Yeah,
I've
no.
never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
It usually looks better on the direct than on the actual thing.
I think it's because I was watching on like my TV and my phone's like super small, so it looks a lot better that way.
So
when you blow it up.
You guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you guys heard about this rumor that Animal Crossing could be coming in early 2019? Because according to Lootpot's website and their sources, they're saying that Animal Crossing could be coming somewhere between Q1 and Q2 for 2019. I personally was thinking that Animal Crossing wouldn't be like the holiday season game, because I think that's more for Pokemon, Metroid, maybe Bayonetta, right? Maybe Luigi in October. So I always felt like Animal Crossing would be more of an earlier game, but early like Q1, Q2, like before summer, before E3 is really interesting. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't think so, because they didn't really show much at the direct.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Nintendo always shows what they have. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but since they just put a place card, like not even a trailer, just a little snippet, that's adorable. Just a little snippet of Tom Nook. He says, "Oh, let's get this started," and then that's it. So
yeah, but I think it's also right. I think it's also possible though that maybe they didn't show off too much because it's 2018 and they don't want to show off it too much of it now, because they're focusing on games that are coming out this year, and then in let's say maybe January they have a direct where like, hey, look, this is what we're doing this year, right? If they show it off then I think we'll know. Like if they don't show it off in the first month or two, then yeah, I would say Animal Crossing is like a second half of 2019 kind of game.
I think, well, I would want to know if they have like an exclusive Switch for Animal Crossing. That'd be nice to know ahead of time. Like the Pokemon one, if they have like a unique Switch for Animal Crossing.
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. It's a good point. They're doing it for like everything. Doing it for Fortnite.
I know, that's pissing me off, kind of. Like, man, I want that Pikachu and Eevee one. I would like to just buy the dock, but it's like,
yeah, if they sell the dock separately, are they?
I heard something about that. That might have been somebody saying they wanted it, but I'm fairly certain somebody said that they are selling the dock separately.
No, I don't think so. That would devalue the whole bundle of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the Switch comes with the two different colored Joy-Cons as well, right? And it has Pokemon stuff on the Switch itself too. So it has value, but at the same time, like, I feel like if you really want to, if you want to get creative, you could make your Switch, like, you could put Pokemon stuff on your Switch. You can put stickers, right? You can get like stamps or whatever.
Sure,
they sell stickers like at stores of Mario, Zelda, and like they have third-party dock kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I've showed you guys this before, right? But you know, I have like Zelda. I have like Zelda stuff on my Switch. Right? Yeah, I'm playing Xenoblade 2. It's so good. Torna, the Golden Country, amazing.
Like I got a free one for Valkyrie Chronicles 4. It has like a little doggy. It's for your Joy-Cons.
That's cool.
It's easy to just decorate it yourself.
Right.
DIY.
According to Sabbath, they're selling the Smash dock separately, which I got confused. I thought they were selling the Pokemon separately. They're selling the Smash one separately.
And also, I have not heard of Super Smash Land. That seems interesting. I should put a link in the Discord. Yeah. What'd you say, Amanda?
I'm getting the Pro Controller for Smash.
Oh, that's the thing, though. There's supposed to be this pre-order where it's not the bundle for the dock. It's a bundle for the game, a collector's tin, a Smash, and the Smash controller with the white handles. Supposedly it hasn't gone up for pre-order yet, but I really want that one because I already have the Switch. I don't want to buy a Switch. I want to buy Smash with that controller.
Yes.
I think you can pre-order at Target. I might be wrong.
I think I heard something like that, yeah.
Best Buy, you can't. Walmart, no.
Not Amazon, not yet.
Amazon is like stingy for an online store.
Yeah, it really is, especially because like you can get on their email list and they won't email you when it goes live. they'll email you afterwards once it's already too late.
I'm gonna pre-order on Best Buy because I can get a if they do a pre-order on Best Buy, then I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
Gamers Club.
I just pre-ordered the Pro Controller, and if I could find the bundle, then I'll do that in the future. But
yeah, I mean, really, I really want is that controller. Like that controller.
Yeah, I don't even have a Pro
so
Controller
good.
yet, so I need to get one.
I mean, okay, I shouldn't say I love. I like this controller. It's good, but the D-pad doesn't work perfectly, and
mine too.
It's just that's really the only issue with the D-pad, honestly. Well, there is another issue. They really should have put a headphone jack on this.
Right.
Yeah, but the voice chat.
Right.
Or like if anything.
Yeah.
But why is the Smash controller like extra money? Have you noticed that than the average Pro controller?
It's like $80.
Typically, they're $5-10 more.
I guess it's just because it's a collector's edition, right?
Okay.
It's special, so they can charge more, and they know you'll pay for it.
That pretty much. It's just the law of supply and demand. It's $75 at Best Buy, Target, and GameStop.
Yeah,
Wow.
But usually they were all the same prices, even the.
Yeah, like a normal.
The Xenoblade one was $75 when I tried to pre-order. It was sold out.
Oh.
Switch Pro controller.
How dare they?
Wow. Apparently.
Buy that before I can get it.
Apparently, it's selling a Switch Pro controller cheaper in some places. Like you get $60 on eBay. Well,
$60? Well, eBay.
According to we at Walmart, you can get it for $44.99. What?
Probably from a
Oh, these are fake. These are fake. They look like Xbox controllers.
Fake news.
The hell is this? Although apparently they are selling it for $59.80, so it's still cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Still.
I think the Pro controller is like the actual Switch controller, not the Joy-Cons. I really don't like using the Joy-Cons.
I like them.
I like using the Joy-Cons on the dock. I mean, not on the dock, on the actual Switch. Like, I just use it basically as a PSP or a Game Boy Advance, and I put it in there and I have my Pro controller when I rarely take them out. Like, I'll take them out just to show off, hey, look, the Switch can do this, but I don't really do that, right? Pretty much, unless I need like extra controllers for multiplayer or something.
Right.
Yeah, but so what if Animal Crossing comes out? Actually, Brandon, what do you think? Do you think Animal Crossing is coming out early 2019 or no?
I mean, I'm just gonna refer back to last podcast when we made our theory and
rudimentary
say that it was
list.
pretty
Yeah,
close. It was pretty close. We put it for June. It was between June and May for us, and we put it in June. So that's pretty much right where I expected like a couple months after what they're saying, like a month or two after what they're saying. I think they said like April. I'm thinking like May or June. So like I think it's gonna be pretty close to what these people are saying. I was not surprised when I heard this. I was like, oh, we were literally like just saying something very similar to this last week.
Yeah. No. So I mean, I don't think it's that far. Jesus Christ, my cat is just going. You need to stop. Okay, there's a microphone here, there's a camera there, there's lights there, there's a power switch over there. You need to get off. Go. Go.
Your poor cat.
No, she's being mean. Go. I let you inside the room. You need to chill. Yeah, just sleep on the PS4. There you go. No! Oh! Oh my... She just knocked down the gamepad. Just go away. Go under the bed. Stay there. Jesus. This is what happens. That's why I can't have nice things, Lola. Okay. We're good. Gamepad's indestructible. Alright. So, yeah, no, I kind of agree with you, Brandon. I agree with me and you, because we talked about it a little bit last week. Definitely, like, I don't see it as a holiday title, so I think it's... We were kind of saying maybe summerish, late summer time, which isn't too far off from this rumor. I think it in a way makes sense to happen before E3 because, what people say a lot. It's just Animal Crossing doesn't demo well at E3 events. It's the kind of game that you don't really need it to be at E3. So if Nintendo were to release it May or June, like right as E3 comes around, that would work out pretty well. And heck, maybe that could be like the game that's like that big game that comes like halfway throughout the year to really push, console sales before we get the big holiday rush. So, I mean, it makes sense. I think it might be a little early, what these rumors are saying, but hey, if it's true, I'm not complaining, right? So.
Do you think they will slap on the deluxe name on it?
On
like
what?
Animal Crossing Deluxe.
No, I don't think
think
this is a
so.
port. I think this is a full-on new game. It's gonna have like its own subtitle or whatever, like Animal Crossing Grassy Roots, or, or Watery Pillows, or I don't know. You know, it's gonna be it's a new Animal Crossing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think so. What if it was a deluxe? How upset would you guys be?
Too upset.
I
Storming the
would
gates.
be like, well, that's why it's coming out early. But I don't think they're gonna pull that because they would have put it in the trailers.
Right. No, the tease is for it's teased as a new Animal Crossing. They would have like just had a trailer saying, "Oh, Animal Crossing City Folk Deluxe" or something, right?
Yeah.
No, this is full on new Animal Crossing.
That would have been a bigger slap in the face than I can't even say the name. Because it's
New
just that
Super
evil.
Mario.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mario
No,
Party
no,
shit
no.
Deluxe.
No. And the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. How
Oh,
dare?
that would be
Oh.
How dare they?
Yeah. No, that was pretty bad. I
They
expected
tricked everyone to think he's a new Animal Crossing for like 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden they show a board. Because they're
Oh,
Right, how old is Amiibo Festival at this point?
two.
They're selling it for $5, a buck.
Oh, I kind of want to get it because it's bundled with an Amiibo, right?
Oh
It's
yeah, I
gotta
have the Amiibos. Well,
It's gotta be
except for
more than
Panda.
2 years old.
I think it's 2,
I
3.
think it's like 3 or 4.
4. I don't think it's 4 years old.
What if it came out yesterday?
Ugh.
Well, then it's not.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's almost 3 years old. November 13, 2015.
2015.
Yeah. And come
Maybe
20
because I talk shit about it all the time, I remember it being newer.
and by the time it comes out in Animal Crossing Switch comes out in 2019, it'll be 3.5 to 4 years. So, you know, it's been a while. But the reason why I'm bringing this up though is because a lot of people made the point that when Amiibo Festival came out, it was like, hey, look, this is a game that has the aesthetic for Animal Crossing. It's in HD visuals. It has like the assets for it, a real HD Animal Crossing. Why don't you just make an HD Animal Crossing? Like, if you already have the engine to have Animal Crossing in HD, you're a year out from creating a full-on Animal Crossing game. You know what I mean? So, why didn't it happen? That's what a lot of people were complaining about for years. So, you know, if this Animal Crossing game was, like, not a full-on Animal Crossing game when they already have the assets and the engine to create a full-on HD Animal Crossing nearly 4 years ago, that just doesn't add up,
My mind.
right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm not worried.
It's
This
gonna
is
be 8. Wait. When did New Leaf come out?
when did who come out?
New Leaf.
2012.
That's what I'm. Yeah. 2012. So it's gonna be 7 years.
Yeah.
Nearly 7 years.
What if they consider Amiibo Festival as the true successor?
No.
Amiibo Festival Deluxe.
Just no.
No. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're gonna see Animal Crossing a little bit earlier in the year than say Pokemon or Luigi's Mansion. Yeah. So let me see what you guys in the chat are talking about though. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add.
I'm good.
Okay. Zulo, he was asking, do you think it'll be very multiplayer focused? That's an interesting point,
Yes.
a question, because the thing is, the Switch does encourage a lot of multiplayer, right, with the Joy-Cons and such. So would it be multiplayer focused?
The other console versions, I think, had 4-player split screen.
Yeah. I think it would since, Nintendo Online.
Yeah,
It's a perfect way
Better
to just...
online.
one would think, but then we also have to look at Super Mario Party.
And then you
Yeah.
just.
They're kind of
Shake it.
backwards.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I want to say it's gonna have some social features because I feel like Animal Crossing, even though I haven't played every Animal Crossing, still know about them. I know that the social features have been moving forward, right? So I feel like for this version they would move even further forward. Maybe not as much as people would like them to, but I think there's definitely gonna be some form of multiplayer in it.
Even New Leaf, you can go visit other people's towns and like walk around together and do stuff.
Mhm.
So, like they better have online multiplayer.
And Pocket Camp. I mean, it's heavy on the multiplayer.
It would be really cool if
So
every
that's-
town functioned as a server. So when you're playing your own game, there are other people that are in there with you.
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
You can go
I guess
visit-
I guess the only problem with that is it could potentially get in the way of being a mayor, right? Because if there are 7 mayors within one map at a time that you don't necessarily want to cooperate with, be a little weird.
Right.
Maybe they could have it like as like an alternate mode or something, where you could play online with other people randomly in your town together, and it would just function as like kind of like just getting into a server, right? Like
Maybe it could be like when you, like in New Leaf, when you play with and you have other people in your account, they just live in your city. Maybe you set up one person as the mayor, and other people, even if they're on a different Switch, can also play online and be in your town.
mm-hmm. Okay.
That'd be neat. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what they do already with the different player features, but have that online, so you don't have to share the same copy to be able to play with somebody else in their town, like as a citizen.
I kind of like what Savage64 just suggested. He said Animal Crossing become a dictator. What if it's called Animal Crossing like the Great Regime, and you're just a powerful dictator, and you go online to conquer other Animal Crossing villages?
Oh, jeez.
That'd be cool, actually.
It
Really
would.
interesting.
It'll never
Taking
happen.
over other relatives.
Yeah. Well, what if they
It's
had like
better
a,
than your last Animal Crossing idea. I'll say that much.
what?
It's better than your last Animal Crossing idea.
I forgot about that one.
Animal Crossing
A serial
Homicide.
killer?
What was it? Blood Moon Festival?
It was Animal Crossing Homicide.
Oh, Animal Crossing Homicide. Yeah, you're like a detective, and you're just trying to find the murderer in your town.
It sounds like some kind of weird Flash.
I should
Fancy.
be put in charge of creating Animal Crossing spin-off games. You have Animal Crossing Blood Moon Festival, Animal Crossing Homicide, Animal Crossing The Great Regime. It'll be an incredible trilogy. It'll come all together in one package too.
One time I came up with the idea for I was messing around and I came up with an idea for an Animal Crossing set in like medieval times, and you had your own castle.
That'd be really
You
cool,
had to build
actually.
your own castle. That'd be dope.
Yeah. I don't. So, do you think this Animal Crossing might like really mix things up, right? Like, because I feel like if they did like decide to choose like a different time period, that would definitely throw people off.
I think. But
Do you really like need to know the time period in an Animal Crossing game?
No, not necessarily. I'm
I
just kind of
mean,
mean like,
for the types of buildings and stuff.
Well,
well,
you
like,
could change them in like, I think Happy Homes Designer.
okay.
Yeah.
But so just but besides the point of like the time period, just kind of like, do you think they could do anything to really like just set this one apart from previous Animal Crossings? Or are they just going to be different because it's an HD online Animal Crossing? Or is there going to be more to it that sets it apart from its predecessors?
I think they were. Oh, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. So I think they were kind of already building on this with the DLC for New Leaf, where they started adding like new areas and stuff, like a camping ground and things like that. And then with Pocket Camp, they had like tons of different areas you can go to. I think this one's going to be a lot bigger in scope. I think there's going to be a lot of different types of areas. Because in New Leaf, all there is in the base game is the island, the main, place where you live, and then Main Street, and that's it. I think they would expand and have like a bunch of different places you can go to. Like you're mayor or whatever you are in this one over a much larger scale city this time, maybe with an actual like city area, like city folk, maybe like also a suburban area or like a forest area, like a bunch of different areas, like in a bigger map, instead of just like this is your town and there's also these other two small areas.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Maybe a little bit more, like to do, maybe a quest or two.
Oh, I like quests. I'm a fan of quests.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a so like in Stardew Valley, right? Like it's basically it's similar to Animal Crossing, right? Because it's like a life simulator, right? You kind of live your life in a village. You can get married. You have a farm. All this different stuff like that. But there's also a part where you can go mining, right? And it's like a whole dungeon that just progressively goes deeper and deeper in. And when you go in this dungeon, there are monsters that you can fight with, like a sword or an axe or stuff like that, and you level up. So like it'd be interesting if there was. I'm not saying that there has to be like a straight up like fighting in Animal Crossing. I'm not asking for that. But the idea of maybe being a bit more questing, right? Where like, oh, we need you to go find this item. Like if they didn't like make the world a little bit bigger, maybe if they had more of a woods area, right? More of a swamp area, a beach area. That I kind of like that idea, especially if they added different types of side quests on top of all the other stuff that you can already do in Animal Crossing. I think it really mix things up, and it'd be kind of like a fun little thing because it doesn't have to be just living life in a town, right? It could be more than that, which is kind of what Animal Crossing is.
Yeah. I hope they put Happy Home Designer, like, a feature in there. That game was fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it had some cool elements about it. It needed like a actual like Animal Crossing game as a base. It was cool mechanics for building stuff, but like once you like modeled the houses, there wasn't anything left to do. It would have been cool as like a feature in an actual Animal Crossing game.
Yeah.
What if they had an Amiibo Festival mode in the next hour?
Oh my
Shut
god.
up! Shut up!
Okay,
Andres.
just kidding.
You know what else they could do is probably like different ways to make money. I feel like if they had like maybe they had like a carnival section where you went and you did like mini games and stuff to try to earn bells and different things
Right,
like that.
or maybe you could be hired as an assassin.
Maybe. Or maybe like public works projects that could earn you money over time, like a public works project where I had the idea where like you do different ones that like what's it called, like one of those like big windmill like things, that wind generator.
A windmill?
A windmill too, but like a wind generator.
Wind
that
turbine thing?
Yeah, wind turbine thing that would like make you small amounts of bells over time. Like stuff like that. Stuff that like you can build and do.
You
that
can make it
help
like
you
Age
out.
of Empires, where you just build and then you create a huge army. Okay, I mean,
Not
not an
that
army. You just make a nice, cozy town where you
Like
just
pacifist
relax. Yes, a pacifist town. Yeah, but so these are some interesting ideas. I don't know. Maybe Animal Crossing is just. I just like destruction. I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not entirely kidding. It's true. But whatever. It's true. But I kind of like the ideas you're coming up with, though. So, like, if Animal Crossing is, like, a bigger, more open world with different kinds of things to do beyond the normal scope of Animal Crossing, like if they add a festival and things like that where you can do different kinds of mini games, that would definitely mix up the gameplay quite a bit, and it would make it different. So, a grander scope Animal Crossing with even more activities from beforehand that's online enabled, that allows you to work in towns with other players seamlessly in real time, and also be in HD, and also portable. I love all of that. I think that'd be a great Animal Crossing. Yeah, for sure. So, I'm down. I'm down for that. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Oh, Brandon, you suggested drug dealer Animal Crossing. Okay.
Yes. From Sabbath's comment about selling mushrooms.
Oh yes, you can sell mushrooms at the corner. Oh, there you go. Animal Junkie will be the 2019 title. Interesting. Definitely some interesting ideas, and I guess we'll see what really happens. Perhaps early. I feel like we'll get to see more of Animal Crossing like January or February when Nintendo decides to have like a Nintendo Direct to sort of share what's coming next. Or do you guys feel differently? You guys think we'll see more of it sooner or later?
I think probably in January or February.
Yeah.
I think it'll also have its own direct because literally everything having to do with Animal Crossing has got its own direct. Even the DLC for New Leaf got its own direct. Pocket Camp got its own direct. Like it's gonna get its own direct.
Yeah.
So I think they'll talk a little bit about it in like whatever, if they have like a January February direct, and then they'll announce a Animal Crossing specific direct a little bit after that.
I think so. I think the specific direct will be not too long before it comes out though. So if it's coming out say in May, right, like some of the rumors suggest, then I would expect the direct to either be at the end of April or the beginning of May for the specific Animal Crossing direct. But we'll see like some more information. We'll get a legitimate trailer for Animal Crossing in January or February, I think. How do you feel, Amanda? Do you think we'll see like a trailer for it in January or something, or later on?
I feel like it could be early, but I also feel like it could be just like in the works. so it might be later. But I think it's gonna be early because it's not gonna be a winter game. That's just how I feel. It's not very wintry. So,
Okay.
spring 2019.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, there has been this rumor going around, and it started by a Dreamcast guy, where he was talking about on his channel. He has some sources saying that basically Square Enix is very interested in getting Kingdom Hearts 3 onto the Nintendo Switch. So, people are talking about Kingdom Hearts coming to the Nintendo Switch now. We know Square Enix has a pretty good relationship with Nintendo, and there are some rumors about a particular character making it into Smash Brothers, and it could be Geno, it could also be Sora, who's the main character for Kingdom Hearts 3. So there's a lot of talk going around about Kingdom Hearts coming to the Nintendo Switch. And Amanda, as you were saying before we started the podcast, it would make a lot of sense for them to have like a bundle of the previous Kingdom Hearts games to come first, like it is on PS4, before we get Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Switch. But, you know, just a lot of possibilities here for Kingdom Hearts on a Nintendo system, which I think make a lot of sense. What do you guys think? What do you think's happening here?
I think maybe they're having the idea of the previous Kingdom Hearts games, and that's might like. Then someone might assume they're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 too. Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't think would make it on the Switch. Like, it's kind of a very intensive game graphically, and just I don't really think so. And plus, they haven't announced anything. That would be kind of weird. Because I think it's gonna be way down the line, if anything.
What's Kingdom Hearts 3 slated to come out?
July. What?
I keep changing it.
The first of the 29th, 2019. So, the new year, the 29th, 2019.
Wait,
I said that
June
so
or January? What month? I didn't hear the month.
I think January, yes. Kind of forgot mine.
Oh yeah. I just want to Google it. January 25th, 2019.
Yeah. You're right.
So, the interesting thing is that I haven't seen too much of the game, so I can't say I haven't seen too much of the game. But the game is running on Unreal Engine, and the Nintendo Switch is geared to do pretty much anything that runs on Unreal Engine. So, I'm not sure it's impossible to get the game running on the Nintendo Switch. Albeit it'll be at a much lower resolution. The frame rate would probably only be at 30, right? Like so, you know, I'm not like I said, I haven't seen too much of the game, so you know, I could be kind of completely wrong here. But just based off the fact that, you know, it's more of a toon-like animated game and that it's using the Unreal Engine, right? I think this game could come to the base Nintendo Switch because
I think not. I mean, because Kingdom Hearts, the final editions, everything, run at 60, and it's kind of important because the gameplay is really hack and slash.
Right.
There's a bunch of things going on at the same time. I don't really see it, but I do think that maybe they should try out their older games, like all the previous Kingdom Hearts games, see how that goes, because they're from like years ago. Okay. And it will like start a relationship with Kingdom Hearts in the Switch.
I see what you're saying. That could happen. Yeah, no, I definitely think it makes sense. I mean, there's precedence for that because, like, we see the companies putting out their older games from franchises rather than their newer ones. But at the same time, though, we have seen, you know, Bethesda put on games like Doom Eternal's coming, Skyrim, right? We're seeing Dark Souls Remastered. And these are games that are running on other platforms, but they're running on the Xbox and PlayStation at 60 frames per second at higher resolutions. And they're fast-paced games, and we're still seeing these lower resolution, lower frame rate versions coming to the Switch. So, I'm just saying, it wouldn't shock me if it comes. But I do agree with you that they should put the earlier Kingdom Hearts games before they put Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, like, see how that goes and then, like, revisit it, but...
Yeah. And at the same time, there's no way in hell Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming anytime soon on the Switch. If it is coming, it's going to come, like, like maybe at the end of 2019 or 2020, right? Because they're focusing on what's on PlayStation 4 right now, and Xbox One coming out this January. So, not anytime soon. But there are those rumors about a new Nintendo Switch, and if that new Nintendo Switch is more powerful, and it may be more powerful to the point where they'll put some additional third-party games on the system, and that could include games like Kingdom Hearts 3, like the Resident Evil remake for Resident Evil 2. I don't know how I had to word it, Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So there maybe Final Fantasy 15 could finally come on this newer version of the Switch, right? So maybe it would come on that version, right? But we still get all the ports on the base Switch, and maybe they'll just release a cloud version. If they can't make the normal Kingdom Hearts 3 run on the Switch. I guess. I know people don't like a cloud edition, but if they can't make it run normally, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just say buy it for the PlayStation. I don't really... It's not like something I would want on my Switch.
I get you.
I don't know.
I mean, if you have a PS4, you should get on the PS4 because it runs and looks better on the PS4. Right?
It's actually coming out
also sooner. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Another great point. I think that it pretty much only comes down to people who don't ever get a chance to play it on the other systems, who only own Nintendo stuff, right? That's kind of like the only audience that there will be for Kingdom Hearts on Nintendo, because a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans already have a PlayStation that they're gonna play it on, right? So I don't really know the numbers, but. If Square Enix is interested, it wouldn't shock me if the game comes in some capacity in the future. Just in the future.
One of the main titles is Dream Drop Distance, which is on the 3DS. That one runs pretty good, really good for a 3DS title. So, I could see that on the Switch. But not like Kingdom Hearts 3. It's on a different level. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 I could see on the Switch. Kingdom Hearts 1, of course. Birth by Sleep was a PSP game, but I could easily put it on the Switch. It's a pretty old title. So
well,
especially Dream Drop Distance. That one, since it's on the 3DS,
Well, I definitely think there should be Kingdom Hearts games coming at some point to the Nintendo Switch. It only makes sense. I feel like the Nintendo audience would definitely embrace those kinds of games they have in the past. And I think the rumors are based off reality. I think Square Enix is definitely interested in bringing it to the franchise. And I think that this could all eventually lead up to Sora coming out as DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I think Sora is going to be a DLC character for Smash Ultimate, the same way Cloud and Ryu were DLC for Smash for Wii U and 3DS. So... Brandon, what do you think? Do you think we're seeing Kingdom Hearts 3? Do you think it means anything for Sora in the future for Smash, or there's a lot of different angles here, but just give me your thoughts.
Yeah, my thing is, it's just if this does come to the Switch, I have hope that it could run just because it runs at 60 frames at pretty high resolution in the original Xbox One, so there's a pretty good buffer there if they want to lower the resolution, put it at 30 frames. Even if it is a faster paced game, as you said, they've been doing fast-paced games at 30 frames, even though it's not a very great experience. Apparently it's good enough for them to do it. But I just don't see why people would... I feel like this game is too big. Doom and Wolfenstein aren't games that are people have been really, really waiting for. People have been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for forever. They're not going to want to experience that on anything less than the best of the best that they can, at least, to what they can afford. So they're not going to want to skimp out for this crappy Switch version. They're just gonna go for the PS4 and Xbox One version. They're not gonna want to play it on the Switch
unless they want it portably.
I guess, but it would look bad. It'd be like Wolfenstein bad, and people have been waiting too long for that.
Well, I'm not a Kingdom Hearts fan, not yet, but I will give it a try. I have a PS4, so
do it.
Right, I agree, I will. But as a Zelda fan, if someone were to tell me, hey, look, you can either A, play Zelda just at home, but it'll be at 1080p, 60 frames per second, but you can play this other version, which wavers between 480p and 720p all the time, and it runs at 30 usually, but it's portable. I feel like I'll probably go for the 1080p 60 version that's only on a home console, because for me, that's the kind of game that I want it all for the experience, right? It's not meant to pass my time, it's meant to be my time. I want that to, you know what I mean? Like, it's something I want to experience, right? I want to experience it the best way possible, so most of the time I would prefer to just get it presented to me in the best way possible. So I definitely understand the angle of wanting that game, of wanting Kingdom Hearts 3, presented in the best way. So, I get it. But I still think that there will be a Kingdom Hearts 3 coming eventually, but I don't think that's really the sticking point here, because most people who really want it are going to play it when it comes out this January.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see it. Like, when you play the games, the past games, like the story so far edition, like, I'm really curious to see if you would think the same way. Like, if you would still think that Kingdom Hearts 3 should be on the Switch. Not it should, but if it could be on the Switch.
Well, the thing is, I think every game can be on the Switch.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Doom is considered one of the pretty high up there in terms of performance. Wolfenstein 2 is pretty high up there, and it's running on the Switch. Not well, though, right? But it is running, right? So, like, if they're willing to put that on the system and Kingdom Hearts on Real, I think it's possible. But again, let me stress, though, that I also think there's the Nintendo Switch Pro or something like that's coming out in the future, and I think that's going to be more powerful and more capable of running this game. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Right.
Like, by all means, more people get to play it, but I still curious to see when you start playing it, like, would you still think the same way? Like, can the Switch handle this or not?
Well, let me give you, I guess, a close example. So I played Bloodborne on PS4, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. But instead of getting Dark Souls Remastered on PS4, I'm waiting to play it on Switch, and I'm going to get it really soon. And even though it's 60 FPS on the PS4 version, I still want the Switch version, because the way that game is, even though you need good timing and it requires a great deal of focus, and you want to have good visuals for it, I would like to have it on the go, because it is like an experience that I could play in spurts here and there. So, that's the closest example I can think of, right? I guess I would have to play Kingdom Hearts for it to be... You know what? We'll revisit this topic when I play Kingdom Hearts on PS4.
Game, like Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, you could probably run it on the Switch if you wanted to, but...
Well, didn't Kingdom Hearts 2 come out on the PS2?
Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah.
But
I mean,
then, like, the final mix still came out on the PS2, so it's a pretty old game. We've been waiting a long time for 3, so...
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, right? When I do play Kingdom Hearts, though, we will revisit this topic. So we'll see what happens. But moving forward, what do we have to say about Super Mario Party?
It's a party.
Nothing.
It was a letdown, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because, like, from hearing from the reviews, like, they're saying, I've heard a lot of positive things. It's just kind of lacking in terms of... It's not even that it's lacking in content. It's more that it's lacking in content for individual modes, because there's so many different modes. There's actually a lot there. But some people are talking about how they wish they kind of focused on less modes, so there could be... The modes that were there would be a little bit more in depth. But, like, in terms of, like, the actual content that is there, I'm hearing that it's actually really fun.
It is. It's, like... it's fun because of the people you play it with, not really because of the game. And that's good. I mean, that's a nice thing to play with people, but when you're by yourself, it's kind of like forever alone. Like,
right. Well, that's the thing. I
Mario
don't
Party's
have...
always been like that. Like, I've never really enjoyed playing Mario Party by myself.
There was a story mode. I used to play them all the time, up till 8.
Yeah, I never really cared, to be honest. I was just, I was always one of those people who just, like, if I'm not playing with other people, I'm bored. Like I get so bored of Mario Party unless I'm playing.
I mean, I
With
enjoyed it
other
as a
people?
kid on the N64, and then after that, like, I only like playing Mario Party with other people, right? I like that party aspect, right? So, like,
Yeah.
right now, like, for example, I'm thinking about getting Super Mario Party just because I'm gonna go visit some friends for Thanksgiving, and you know that'll be a good time. Like, we could get some drinks, right, and like get pizza, and then just like make it a
Mario
big
Party.
drinking game, right? And it'll be a Mario Party, right? So that's fun to me. But once the party's over, I have no reason to play the game. So
That's like the main thing. Why was the game like $60 if it's? I mean, it should have been, if anything, 50.
hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
not pretty much the 60 title, because I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just me. I don't know.
Nintendo puts 60 on too many games. They're just like,
For
oh,
real.
cheap
Yeah,
party
a lot of
game,
games are
60
overpriced.
bucks.
Super-
Zelda Breath of the
isn't-
Wild, $60.
Isn't Super
Mario
Mario Brothers Deluxe $60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
It's
And they
because
said
it's
they're
made by
putting it
Nintendo.
Luigi free.
It's because it has Bowsette. I mean, it has a crown that birthed Bowsette,
No, they
Toadette.
have Luigi mode, Year of Luigi mode.
Mhm.
which was originally
I'm like-
$20. I remember, if I remember correctly, on the Wii U years ago.
Yeah, they
So-
said they're giving it for free. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's not for free.
That's not for free because the game's more expensive now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, exactly.
Plus,
I don't
who,
know.
who cares? Like, the game's old.
I mean, I do love the games. They're kind of fun to play.
I'm gonna look on
They have
Amazon
reviews.
to see how much New Super Mario Brothers U is worth.
I'm sure it's worth, like, nothing.
I think you're wrong.
I mean, it depends on who's, like, if you
I'll buy
split...
deluxe. Shamelessly.
Oh
yes.
my god,
Yeah.
you can buy it
I'm
for
just saying,
$60.
Yeah, I'm sure you
What?
can. But
$60. It's like not even down in price. Like it's like Amazon selling for like $65 and some.
Probably, like, physically, there probably isn't that many copies.
Yeah.
But still, like online store.
That's ridiculous.
When what's sad is that like, because I know you can get Super Mario 3D World for $20 on the eShop on Wii U, but on Amazon Prime it's selling for $32.
I guess physical, which is not bad. $32. It was
Right.
a $60 game, but
But I got it for $20, and it was great.
jeez.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's dumb.
Nintendo
Oh,
does-
apparently, actually, they're already selling Super Mario Brothers U with the Luigi DLC packaged together as one game for $60 on Amazon for the Wii U.
It's probably a download code for the second one, yeah. That makes sense.
One of them isn't. There's two.
No.
There's a retail version and then there's a digital code version. They're both $60.
That is a ripoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, who wants to buy that?
Yeah, kind of lame to be honest with you. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, so
dumb.
Mario Party should have at least been $49.99, but Nintendo.
Right. Well, I think
Mario
I think the other thing to consider is that it's the whole supply and demand thing, right? So if people are buying it, it will continue to sell. So at that price. So if people aren't buying it, then it'll lower in price.
I mean, they haven't lowered 1-2 Switch, which is like, it should be free by now. Like, they
Actually,
just put it as a demo.
that's a good point. Let me see how much it's worth on Amazon. Just, see how much it's worth. Has it dropped in price?
Nintendo does not. They price their games so crazy. Like 1-2 Switch, the tech demo game, $50. Breath of the Wild, huge,
should've been
gigantic
free.
open world game, took 5 years to make.
That
one
is
of the
worth
biggest games
$60.
ever. $60. Like, why is that a $10 price difference? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No, I totally see what you guys are saying. I don't disagree. It's kind of dumb. It really is. But it's reality. So what you gonna do about it? Just not buy the game. Not buy the game.
Well, I'm gonna buy the game. 'Cause
I kind of want the Mario Party game though, because like I do think it's gonna be a really good time with friends. I want to play that River
You
Rapids
rent it.
game with my friends. I want to do that. The mini games are fun. Supposedly the Joy-Con controls are really good, and I feel like they'll probably add updates to the game, so there'll be even more content in there down the road. So like, I'm not. I mean, it's $60, so that's probably why I'm not going to pick it up soon, right? But if I have the extra cash, I probably will go for it after I get around to playing a lot of other games.
Add an update that has an online mode, I'll buy it instantly.
Well, that's the other thing. The online mode is pretty limited. You can only play 10 different types of
Yeah,
minigames.
that's what kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
I wanted to like.
Imagine actually being able to play on the boards all 80 minigames with everyone. That would be great.
Because most of my friends that I play games with are online.
So,
Like, just no one's IRL. And that was kind of a bummer. I'm like, I'm a loner.
this is 2018, man. Nintendo, get with the times.
Yeah. But
I mean, I could force my friends IRL to play, but they don't really like video games, so.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. It's kind of hard to get people to play Mario Party. I totally understand that. I will say this, though. I'm at least glad that I think they're moving in the right direction for Mario Party, because it seemed like gameplay-wise they were really messing with the pacing and stuff, and they know they had the whole cart thing, but now, based off what I'm hearing from the way the game plays and the way it's structured, it's actually really good. It's just, you know, some people would prefer a little bit more content in some of the modes, and they wish the online had more minigames, but excluding those aspects, this is actually supposed to be a pretty good Mario Party from what I'm hearing. So, you know, if you're a big fan of Mario Party and you have the friends to play with, I think you should get this game. But if you don't have friends to play with,
And you're.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. So
lonely.
let's see what's going on in the chat. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add in terms of what you think about what you feel on Mario Party.
I would think there'd be more online since there's a Nintendo Online.
Right.
You would think.
Honestly, they could just add a patch that lets you play with friends online, and I would just go and buy it. I'd just be like, "Yep, okay, I'm buying this now." Like,
Yeah,
Nintendo's
because
not hard.
I would be just playing by myself, basically, the whole time, and that's not really good party. So.
No, it's no party.
No
one
party
is
by yourself.
one is not a party. But two could be a party. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I think everyone just wants to talk about the Switch Pro and Smash. Let me see. I was hearing something about who was asking. Oh yeah, Graveheart Gaming was asking. Anyone else hoping Vergiben is fake or is a fake? So let me give my thoughts on that. I think we're pretty much done with Mario Party, so I'll just end that. Do you guys know who Vergiben is?
No.
Brennan?
Yeah, of course I know the first ones.
Okay. So, Amanda, I know you were telling me you don't really follow all of the speculating too much about Smash Brothers, right? You love Smash Brothers, but you're not into the whole, like, theorizing, right?
I just want the game.
I get you.
Whatever it is.
So but let me just get you up to speed though, real quick. So basically, you know, there's like this huge leak culture for Smash Brothers. So every day there are a whole bunch of YouTubers just literally copy and pasting random 4chan like lists, like random people who could be 12 years old or 14 years old or 59,000 years old are just going on the internet, creating a random anonymous account and just saying, hey, my uncle works for Nintendo. Also, I'm married to Sakurai, the creator for Smash Brothers. This is what he told me he's in the game.
Like, what if he has an anonymous account and you don't even know?
You won't know. That's the
Sakurai,
thing.
like, he's like, ooh.
There's all these fake
there is.
leakers coming out and saying, oh, this is what's going to be in Smash Brothers. This is going to be in Smash Brothers, right? So there's all of that going on, right? But some people think there are some real leakers out there, especially when they make correct predictions several times in a row. So the one that's kind of shining through above all other leakers is Vergiben, because he said several things that have come true. And so basically he said there would be Simon would be in the game, Ridley would be in the game, and that's come true. He said before it was revealed at E3, he said that there would be all the characters from Smash Wii, including DLC, would return, along with Ice Climbers and Snake, and that turned out to be true. He didn't, however, say that everyone would be here, right? He didn't say that even the characters from Melee would return. So he didn't predict that slogan, but he did say a lot of characters would return. He got Simon right, he got Ridley right, he got Isabelle right, and he's also predicting Incineroar and Minecraft content. So,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah, and the thing is, some people have interpreted that as meaning Minecraft Steve, will be a unique fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And there's a lot of people now saying that the final characters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to be revealed are going to be Minecraft Steve, Incineroar, an Echo for Ken, you know, of Ryu, and another Echo of maybe Shadow. Like, that's it. Like, that's what people are saying. That's the final roster. Those are going to be the final reveals for Super Smash Bros. So there are a lot of people that are just like, hey, if that's what Virgibin's predicting, that's kind of bad. But I want to point out, though, that Virgibin, even if he's right, doesn't have all the sources, right? He has some of the sources, and he has not said that I know everything's going to be in the game. He's just saying what he knows is in the game. He could be right about there being Incineroar in the game. He could be right about there being Ken in the game. He could be right about there being some type of Minecraft content, and there could still be, like, 6 other Smash characters he doesn't know about and a few more stages and stuff like that, right? Like, so he doesn't necessarily know everything, even if he is right. So, yeah, just
become a leaker,
by getting right.
Get this information from, hack the computers at Nintendo, what?
Well, it's an interesting question. How do people get that information? I think what it is that some people have inside sources, right? And those inside sources somehow communicate with the dev team in some way. Maybe some of them actually are developers, so maybe some of them are just,
I don't think they would risk their job.
Some people do.
Some people do. I mean, leaks do happen. Oh, Ethan just subscribed. Welcome, man. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but welcome nonetheless. It's well, like, I mean, for example, last week we got a leak for whatchamacallit, the Harry Potter thing. Oh, Warner Brothers, don't strike the video. I said Harry Potter, but apparently even if you put like a picture of the Harry Potter thing, people will strike down. Warner Bros. Will strike down your video.
I put pictures in my coffee talk, and they didn't do anything, so luckily.
Well, just don't put video then, because...
Yeah. Well, I also had mine weren't full screen. They were, I was Googling Google images, so...
Alright, well, be cautious, guys, who do put that on your videos. Apparently Warner Brothers is really going hard on this, because they did not want this to get out. I've heard even murmurings that this Harry Potter thing's supposed to be for, PlayStation 5. So...
Damn.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah, but
there's footage of it.
Yeah,
there's footage of it.
In 20-second video, but they took it down. Now there's only GIFs.
But yeah, Brandon can at least show you the GIF, right? You could send her a message on Twitter.
Yeah, I can tweet you the GIF sometime.
Yeah, but this is, yeah, it looked really good, and that's an example of a real leak, right? The Nintendo Switch concept itself was leaked by Eurogamer, right? Even an image for Pokemon Let's Go came out before the game was revealed, and there was a post talking about what Pokemon Let's Go was, and as it turned out, they were real. So leaks happen. People are risking their jobs out there somehow. Not all of them. Most of them are fake. But there's, let's say, I don't know, it's hard to put a number to it, but let's say 10% of leaks are real, right? So
probably less than that. It's probably 1%.
They're saying it's gonna happen. It's not like a theory where, something's popular, so it might be in it. They're saying this is gonna happen. Right. That's really weird. Where do you get that info from? It's kind of
some people have these sources, sketchy. Man.
It's just always weird to think how'd you meet these people?
Exactly. I have Nintendo sources.
Right. How'd you get them?
Nice to meet you.
I married Sakurai. That's how. I don't know.
You just go look up Nintendo sources for hire.
Yeah. I think you have to basically work in the game industry, and that's pretty much, you develop contacts in that way. So, it's weird. I know a lot of YouTubers that get contacts because when you're a YouTuber, the bigger you are, people who do have inside sources may contact you and they'll tell you things, right? So, I don't have, a lot of sources, but there are a couple people who have hit me up in the past that have said some things to me, right? And that's super minor stuff, right? So I'm just saying, and I'm small. I'm really small, right?
I don't get anything. If anything, I get news something dropped or got revealed, but no one's come to me hey, I have this source that only you know and I know.
Yeah. Well, some people I feel eventually you will get people hey, here's this, eventually, and most of the time they're fake. Most of the time they're fake.
If it's a spoiler, I would be bye.
No, not interested. Right? No, I totally understand that.
As long as these leaks are, contained into something where it's not spoiling everybody, then I don't really mind.
Yeah. But to go back to the question though, does anyone else hope that Virgilman is fake? I personally would not like to see Minecraft Steve as a unique fighter, not because I would hate him, but basically because I know that the roster is limited, so if they focus their resources on getting Minecraft Steve, when they could have had other characters like Banjo-Kazooie, or Geno, or Sora in the game that I think would be a much bigger deal, then yeah, I'd be a little disappointed, right?
It would stick out.
But at the same time, I do think a Minecraft stage would make a lot of sense. And it could be really fun. If it's like destructible and it's also building at the same time, that would be really cool. So
no. I'm trying to fight, not build a stage.
But I don't know. It could be one of those weird stages, right?
I hate the moving stages.
Yeah.
I actually really like them.
Trying to fight.
I
lose so much to these moving stages more than I do to the actual person. I'm trying to fight. It's so annoying.
Yeah. That's why there's so many different kinds of stages. I prefer the stages, like I like it when stages have elements to them, right? Like for example, I like Hyrule Castle, right? Like I like the one from Melee, and I like the one from N64. The one in N64 is cool because like you have a couple different platforms, different levels, and occasionally you have like a tornado. That's interesting to me, but I don't like, for example,
Star Fox when you're like flying everywhere.
I love that.
So, like, calm down.
Well, it's flat, so I don't mind it, but I don't like the Donkey Kong stage. Like, I think it's a cool stage, but I don't like having serious fights on there.
Yeah, because you can't pay attention to everything. Like, and it is so frustrating. You're doing so good, but then you fall off the stage like a dirt because you forgot it's gonna move, and you're on the wrong platform.
Starts throwing them stuff. Yeah.
I just don't usually have super serious Smash matches. I just like to fuck around.
That's not even serious. That's like I just don't like it.
It's all about winning. If you're not playing
to
win,
I like the basic Smash stage.
I get so bored with those.
Mono and mono. Let's go.
See, I'm not a huge fighting fan. I just like the craziness. I'm not a huge. I don't like that. I'm not a huge fighting game fan.
I like both. It just kind of depends on the situation. Like, I think for me, like Final Destination, like it's neat. I am okay with the duel thing, the one-on-ones, but I really appreciate, the stages that have some variety to it, but not over the top. Those are usually my preferred stages that have an element that mixes things up a little bit, but aren't like completely random where you're just like, oh, what do you do, right?
Oh,
but
the Mega Man one for that guy.
Oh yeah, I don't like the Yellow Devil. Yeah, I don't think anyone does.
The boss stages are different because you end up fighting the boss and not everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
I like Gamer is like my favorite. It's like the perfect kind of stage for me. It's like it's a normal like platform stage, but it also has like the the mom comes out and she shines the light and you can get hit from it. Like that stage is awesome. I love that stage. Play them that all the time.
I like the Wario one. That one's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah, the Wario one's interesting. So, I want to continue talking about Smash Brothers, but there's one more topic I want to cover before we sort of end things off with the Smash Direct predictions. So, and that is the Nintendo Switch Pro, which kind of lends itself towards all the other stuff we've been talking about today. So let's get started on that, right? And I know both you guys know about this. There's been several rumors coming out about it, but the main and more credible one is Wall Street Journal, which Wall Street Journal is a Wall Street Journal. They are super credible. Their information is coming from real factory manufacturing information, right? So the industry is preparing for a new Switch console revision of some sort. There's still plans going on. There may be changes, so whatever they're saying may not turn out to be fully true, because that's what happens when you report about something that's still in development and not officially announced by Nintendo or whatever company it is. But nevertheless, there's still something going on with the planning, with Nintendo planning a new system for next year. And basically, what the report suggests is that it may come, it's going to come sometime in the second half of 2019. And it's going to maybe have a better screen. That's still under debate. So maybe a better battery life, and that's pretty much it in terms of what we know. And now people have kind of taken this and sort of rolled with it, and different reports have come out. Like there's a Marcus Sellis rumor, which no one really trusts, well, some people trust him because they just like hearing rumors, but a lot of people don't trust him. He's saying the Nintendo Switch is going to be, well, I think he said it's going to have 4K upscaling, it's going to have 128 gigabytes of RAM, not RAM, storage memory, it's going to have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and, like, I don't remember how powerful he said it's going to be, but he said it would have 4K upscaling.
Computer. Like, what?
It seems a lot. I've heard other rumors that talk about, not from Marcus Sellers, right, that are talking about, for example, Rich from Review Tech USA, he's had some sources that are suggesting that the system will be close to PS4 level, not in terms of actual physical, like, teraflops, but in terms of, you know, actual performance. Like, for example, the Nintendo Switch itself sort of punches above its weight. It would be kind of like that, so where its presentation seems to be pretty close to PS4. That's what the rumor is suggesting. That he's heard that the storage will have maybe 256 gigabytes of RAM. Not RAM. I keep on saying RAM, like storage space, right? RAM, that was not mentioned from what I remember. But basically a system that's close to PS4 level. And basically his speculation is that the system is kind of like going to have an SoC, like an original SoC chip, like that Nintendo's actually been working on for a few years, and that the current Switch model was originally, like, the reason why it's just an off-the-shelf X1 is because Nintendo sort of rushed something to the market because the Wii U was dead, and they wanted to see if this concept would work out, and it is, so now Nintendo's rolling with it, and this actual customized chip version is coming out sometime next year. And what that will equate to exactly, well, I can interpret that, right? But those are just kind of the rumors that have been coming out. So just putting it out there for you guys. And now we can sort of talk about it and interpret these different things. Amanda, since you're the guest for today, what do you think the actual Nintendo Switch revision or whatever it's going to be is going to be, if anything?
I think it's going to happen eventually. I mean, the 3DS has gone through, like, several revisions. So it's going to happen. Maybe a dock, like a more powerful dock, because I don't really see all that in, like, handheld. So I'm thinking, what if they're gonna just, you know, release a more powerful dock with different functions to help the Switch while it's docked, but when you undock it, it's like a normal Switch. So that's just I mean, that would be like the cheapest alternative for people, but I do think a new Switch down the line is definitely going to need an update, because already we see, like, how, you know, it's not as powerful as its competitors by, like, a long shot. So
right, and I
think
take
it on the go. So,
and that's the thing, right? Even within the Wall Street Journal report, they're talking about how Nintendo wants to create a new system to maintain the momentum of their sales, but also they want to stay competitive, right? And now with the rumors growing stronger and stronger for Xbox Scarlet and PS5, right? People are starting to think that we could even maybe get a reveal for these systems next year, maybe even one or two of them come out next year, right? If that happens, that's going to put more pressure on Nintendo to do something if they want to maintain third-party support. So then, you know, maybe Nintendo is going to do a revision so they can up that power level, so they can have, you know, kind of not be as powerful as their systems, but be powerful enough so they can still have third-party support, because they don't want to lose it now that they have it.
Yeah, I think so. And they want to maybe, like, the handheld mode doesn't have to be as powerful. Maybe they're going to do something more for, like, when you put on your TV. They might do something with the dock. I don't know to the extent, like, which the dock does.
I love the idea. This is just an idea. This is my personal dream. This is not what I'm predicting or saying what's going to happen, right? So let's say, hypothetically, right, this Nintendo Switch revision comes out. And the way it's going to work, right, let's say it comes with 120 gigabytes of storage space, right? The screen size will pretty much be the same. It'll be slightly bigger, maybe they half the size of the bezel, but not completely eliminated. I think they need to have some space on the bezel because there needs to be some space between the Joy-Con and the screen for your fingers and stuff, but they'll make it a little bit bigger, right? It'll be 1080p, and then what happens is the actual system itself, the system, will be more powerful than the current Switch, but it'll still run all of the same games, except there'll be some additional third-party games because it's a bit more powerful. Let's say the power of this current Switch is when it's actually, you know, docked, it's closer, somewhere in the range of Xbox One and PS4, right? So powerful enough to run the exact same games as Xbox One and PS4 without any sort of gimps, right? Like the way it is now for the Switch. Like this current Switch would be powerful enough to run, for example, Kingdom Hearts 3 without it being, with it still having a high resolution, higher frame rate, right? So then things like that would be possible, but maybe on the base Switch it would run very crappily, but still be available, and in some cases not available at all. And then what they could do is they have that Switch, right, available, and maybe that'll cost $400, right, and they lower the price for this current Switch to $250. They still play pretty much the same games, just a few different third parties that become available, and then they could release a dock that you can plug your Switch into that upscales against to 4K. It doesn't make them run natively. I'm not talking about running natively, but an upscaler, right, where what upscaling is. It's hard to describe exactly the difference between upscaling and running natively, but basically it just kind of presents them in 4K and makes them look a little bit better, but not as much better as native, and it's not as much of a draw on performance. And if they were to do that, I'd be so down, right? I'd be so down for that. I would love that, and I think most people would be okay with that, especially because the occasional third-party games that would be available on this revision wouldn't come to the normal Switch anyway, right? Like, for example, Resident Evil 2 Remake is not coming to the Nintendo Switch, right? But if it comes to the Nintendo Switch revision, that'll be fine, because it wasn't going to come to the normal Switch anyway. So why should people complain?
Still, that's, I don't like the idea of exclusives, like, on its own console, like the PS4 Pro and PS4. They run the same games, it's just the PS4 Pro has enhanced, but the original game could still play. But having a console with, you know, console exclusives on its own consoles is kind of like bad, in my opinion.
I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you necessarily, but let's just think about this for a second, though, right? So, here's the thing. Right now, let's just assume that Kingdom Hearts 3 will never come to the normal Switch, right? Resident Evil 2 Remake will never come to the Nintendo Switch. But if Nintendo creates this new Switch that's about as powerful as an Xbox One, or between an Xbox One and PS4, they can run these games. Why wouldn't the developers put it on that system, right? If it can run those games, why not put it on there?
I just think it's too early. Like, yeah, the Switch does need to be revised down the line, but the, like, timeline of it seems kind of rushed. Like, I don't want to spend $500 for a Switch when I bought this one.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's the thing, though, because, like, a
That's
lot of people might feel burned.
Most people, huh?
I see what you're saying. A lot of people might feel burned. So then, here's a possibility, okay? What if it does come out next year, it is more powerful, somewhere between Xbox One to the PS4 to the power, it gets all the current third parties, right? But the games are still available on the other system, they just run worse. Just kind of the way it is already.
I would still feel burned because the Switch hasn't even been out that long to have a kind of revised edition in there. Like the 3DS got like 3 revisions, which is the original 3DS, the 3DS, and then the new 3DS.
Right.
They weren't, and they're not like big consoles where you spend a lot of money. I don't know, I think we're trying to catch up with the Wii U, like getting all the games to the Switch, rebuying stuff. To make people buy another Switch that early, it's like, Nintendo, really?
What was the first 3DS upgrade? Was it the Nintendo 3DS XL?
I think so. I think it went, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just looking up dates here. The original Nintendo 3DS came out February 2011, okay? And then the new Nintendo 3DS XL, apparently, this is the new version, came out July 2012? What?
Oh, what?
That doesn't seem right at all. That makes no sense.
Well,
This
3DS and DS could technically be called revisions, because the DS...
The DS Lite came out like a year after the original DS. I think the XL.
Yeah, I think that
pretty soon,
one-
too.
Yeah.
Compared to the 3DS to the 3DS XL wasn't that long. It was like a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
I think the dates on Google are just wrong.
What did it say?
It's just, the dates are all over the place here. I think it got confused between the XL, swap the dates. I think the XL, not the new, right, which is why the whole branding is confusing, but the XL version came out in a year later. A year and a half, less than a year and a half later, we got the Nintendo 3DS XL, right? The new Nintendo 3DS came out in America September 2015, so a lot later. It's almost 4 years later, right? So, so the new 3DS has like better hardware in it, better controls, but an actual minor upgrade to the system in terms of like form factor was the XL that came out a year and a half later.
Yeah,
So,
those actually have exclusives for it, like
Right.
Xenoblade Chronicles
mhm.
and Fire Emblem Warriors. So,
Yeah, there's not too many, but they also the Pokemon games, they run on the base 3DS, but on the new 3DS, the frame rate is consistent, but on the old 3DS, it's very choppy.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't.
Hyrule Warriors
It's a tricky
tries to run
subject.
on the original 3DS. In my opinion, I mean, there's nothing really to complain about, because if there's a new Switch and you're getting stuff you wouldn't have gotten, why are you complaining that you're able to get new stuff? You wouldn't have gotten it anyways, so you don't have to buy it if you want to not buy it and keep the same Switch. It's the same as if they didn't release it, but now if you do want to buy it, you can. It's just more options. It's not like if they put out a new Switch, it's like, oh, well, we're now forcing you to buy a new Switch so you can play the next Zelda game. It'd be like,
Well, that's
no,
what
we're
he was
just...
talking about with the games. Like some games could run on the newer Switch.
Well, only
The
third-party
other
games.
ones, yeah, but
Well, here's the thing
people-
though. The PS4 Pro does run all the same. All the same games that are made for PS4 Pro also work on the base PS4. Just to compare for dates though, right? The normal PS4 came out in November 2013, and the PlayStation 4 Pro came out in November 2016. So they waited 3 years. So let's assume that Nintendo Switch revision comes out summer. Like that's the earliest I'd say it would come out, right? They said second half of 2019. Let's say it comes out 2.5 years after the Switch released.
Mhm.
So it's 6 months earlier than when the PS4 upgrade came out. So 6 months earlier, but this revision would include better graphics. No one has said that this system will have exclusive third parties. That's just speculation, right? Just put that out there.
Mhm.
But people, I think it is agreed that the system will have a bit more power in it, though. But the thing is, the reason why people are suggesting that it'll get some exclusive third parties is because right now the Switch is missing out on some third party games, and the power is kind of the reason for it. And with PS5 and Xbox One, 2, or whatever the hell it's going to be called, are both on the horizon. Let's say, what if both of those new next gen systems come out next year? Nintendo kind of doesn't have a choice if it wants to maintain third party support, though, right?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think that's the case. And like you said, they were rumored to be working on this chip for years. My thing is, why was the Switch? I don't know. Like, I feel like the Switch, I do love it a lot, but I feel like Nintendo rushed it a little. So it kind of feels like it's in its beta version.
It is, because we're just getting the online service now.
Yeah,
A year and a
so
half
I'm-
after
I-
it came out.
And my thing is,
We still don't have Netflix on the system.
we still don't have YouTube. There's YouTube on the 3DS. Like,
Yeah.
what excuse?
There are no themes, aside from white and black, right? The eShop has no music. A lot of really
There's a lot of
simplistic...
things that are missing from it that you would think were on it. So I feel like
the Switch revision is going to have all of those bells and whistles that we're sort of expecting. We're expecting to be on the base Switch.
Somehow she dropped.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we lost Amanda. I'll send her another link.
There she is.
Oh, hey.
man.
You're back.
Yeah, I don't know where I went. I was like dropped into cyberspace or something.
Yeah, it was weird. But you're here now.
What were we saying? Oh yeah, the Switch Pro or whatever it's called.
Right.
It's inevitable, and like I forgot. I'm sorry. And like what about
Unforgivable.
Nintendo
You're
said,
good.
like it's gonna be there if you want to buy it. But I just feel it's kind of like Nintendo. We bought your like beta Switch, like it's
I would feel
like
a little
that is
burned.
the way of the world.
Right.
Unfortunately.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
iPhones come out every year, right? Phones upgrade every year. You buy, you feel like, oh, I just got the new iPhone, and then 9 months later, oh, we're talking about this next iPhone already. Oh,
Yeah, I don't feel compelled to buy the new iPhone anytime soon, but
no.
since I love my games and my hobby is gaming, I'll probably buy the bigger version of
Yeah.
the Switch.
I think the ideal situation is that they do come out with this Nintendo Switch revision next year, and it does sort of facilitate an environment where we get more third-party games like Resident Evil 2 Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3. But because here's the thing though, even if the developer's like, oh, we can develop for this version, for this more powerful Switch, but they're gonna look at all the people who already have the average Switch, and I find it really hard to believe that they're going to be already working with Switch hardware, right? And then they're going to see this other Switch version that, yes, it's weaker, but if they scale down their game, work with it a little bit, they'll be able to get access to those millions and millions of owners that have the original Switch model. So I don't see third parties, for the most part, even if it is an option, I don't see third parties for the most part excluding the Switch because that's too much sales on the table to just drop if you're already working with Switch hardware. So I'm not too worried about it, even if it is an option. But I think ideally, they'll just be most games or all games will be available on both versions, and just this revision games will look a little bit better.
Yeah, I'll end up buying it because I'll be like, that's it. This is my Switch. That's it. No complaining for years to come.
I'm happy with my Switch as it is.
imagine they'd have some really good trade-in stuff, especially at GameStop, because we all know they're going under and they're giving ridiculous trade-in values for everything. When new consoles come out, they're like, oh, this Wii U that nobody wants, we'll give you $400 for that if you trade it in towards your Switch. I was like, oh gosh. I literally got almost like $500 for my Wii U and games for a system nobody wanted.
Really?
Yeah, and my
Wow.
gamepad didn't even turn on. The battery there was something messed up with it. The gamepad didn't even turn on. They gave me almost $500 anyways. Like, they have good trading value. So if you're worried about like being like, oh man, I feel ripped off. Well, if you trade into GameStop, you'll probably get your money's worth. And I mean, you did. By this point, you'd have it for 2.5 years. So I feel like even though you're gonna lose a little bit of money, obviously you're not gonna get the full $300 when you trade it in. I think you'll still get it good enough to be like, okay, that extra money, that was kind of like me getting to play, for this 2.5 years already. So I feel like that.
Or maybe it'll be like kind of not as expensive as people think. Like $500 was.
I don't think it's gonna be $500.
No.
That's kind of like.
No,
PC realm.
I think the expensive model is, the rumors are talking about 400 tops.
Okay, then that's.
Tops. And I mean, if they're playing the same games, just the newer model plays the games a little bit better, right? And if they'll lower the price of this current Switch to like $249, that'll be fine to me, I think. The other thing is that, like, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, we're not gonna have a handheld, right? But a lot of Nintendo fans are used to buying both a handheld and a home console every generation. This other Switch might be considered, like, Nintendo wants to have different devices out in the market, so I think it's going to happen no matter what. It really just comes down to the differences, like, what kind of differences are we going to see? I don't think they can make the Switch any smaller, because, like, just look at this thing, right? Like, how do you make it smaller when you already have the Joy-Cons? Like, it
has to be bigger, if anything. Go big or go home.
If anything. And I guess a bigger version could still fit in the Switch as long as it's the same width.
Like, the new iPhone is like an iPad at this point. Like, it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone's just wants big, I guess.
Yeah, true.
So
Brandon, but what do you think, though? Like, where do you stand on this revision? Do you think it's happening next year? And if so, how much of a power change, if at all, do you think there will be?
Yeah. I do have a video coming out about this.
Check it out, guys. Be ready.
So
Hit the notification
that-
bell on this channel.
Yes. I have researched the facts. I have found the raw numbers. I did hours and hours of research. That video is filled, my friends, with only the most real info. So if you want to know the actual information, the actual facts, you should check out that video because it's all based on facts pretty much. There's a little bit of speculation, obviously, because we don't know everything, but everything is based off of facts. So just to not spoil the video, I do think it's going to be a pro. I think it's going to be an actual change to the console because I feel like you would probably want to get everything working well in a handheld and console before you just bump the console, because I feel like they don't want to make games for a system be like, oh, well, you can put it in this super nice console. You got this console, you're playing, Mario Odyssey at 1440p, all of a sudden you pull it out and you're playing it 720p, or you're playing Wolfenstein at full 1080p, you pull it out, all of a sudden you're playing it like 360p. I feel like they don't want you to like pull it out like, oh my gosh, my handheld experience sucks. Like they really want to get that handheld experience up before they just blow you away with the console experience, because they don't want to make you feel like, oh, I might as well just play everything at home because it sucks on the go in comparison.
That's a great point.
They want to make it good on the go and then really push for that kind of 1440p, maybe 4K upscale kind of dock. That's what they want to go for, I think.
So then, the base model, then you still think they have to make them more powerful, because if they made a dock super powerful, yeah, that difference would be too extreme. They need a middle ground.
And plus, it would be a lot more expensive for the dock because you have to put a lot better processors in to raise it up high enough. If you make a better base, then it's less you have to put into that dock to get it to that.
So if they do have a dock, though, right? Because that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't even think that's possible, but Nintendo has patents for it, right? So I do think it's possible. I don't know if it'll work with the current Switch, but I guess that's my question to you guys. Do you think they will have it work with the current Switch, right? Where they'll release a 4K dock or whatever sort of dock to improve the power. Do you think that'll work with the current Switch, or do we have to wait for the Switch upgrade to work with that, if that even ever happens? It's all speculation. There may never be a dock to power up the Switch, right? That may never happen. But assuming there is one, do you guys think it could work with the original Switch, or do we have to wait on the new Switch to take advantage of that?
Maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be a dock. Maybe you could just turn off the handheld Switch and then it goes into its console mode, and it pretty much has like maybe a little thing that has all, I don't know what I'm talking about. But it doesn't really necessarily have to be a dock. Maybe like you could just like Bluetooth it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about technology, so I'm just thinking like, because Apple has always been ahead in like technology for me, so they always do like cool things, and what they do is like AirDrop or Apple AirDrop, or just you could just send stuff without having to. Well, you could just press the button.
I feel like at that point you're not too far off from like cloud streaming. I know it's a little different, right? But like the idea of streaming a game to your system, well, then there's like a whole distance thing, right? So like even if you could stream the game from it's kind of like what the Wii U was, right? Where the Wii U would stream the game to the gamepad, right? But you were tethered. You weren't hard tethered, but you were tethered to basically your house or half of your house, because it wouldn't go that far. So I feel like if they had to do it through Bluetooth or something, well, I mean, you would just basically turn it into a Wii U.
You could disconnect it, like, when you're done with the console mode, you could just pick it up and, I don't know, that's just my imagination.
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right, well, if you just want to play it better on handheld mode, you could use Bluetooth, stream it, but if you just want to leave the house, okay, you'll have to sacrifice and just go into handheld mode, right? True handheld mode. Okay. I mean, yeah, options are always good. So if that was an option, I mean, it's not just an option, right? So,
like, maybe it doesn't have to be a dock that you have to dock it. Maybe it just has, like, a box that senses your, stuff, and then it just sends it to a TV.
Interesting.
Right. Or like a box that you could plug into your dock or something instead of having to buy a whole new dock.
Incoming the return of the RAM expansion pack.
Yes.
The RAM expansion pack. So the Nintendo 64 had this slot in the front.
Oh, I know what
you remember. Yeah, they actually made games. Some games wouldn't even run without the RAM expansion pack. So you need to have the RAM expansion pack to run some games, and even the games that allowed you to play even without it, they would be missing a lot of features until you used it. And basically, it just gave the system more RAM. It made the textures better, the games looked better, and it was a power up mid generation for the Nintendo 64.
They ran like high resolutions and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like consoles should have components like PCs where you could just like.
The thing is, I think we're actually. I think we're moving in that direction though. So because think about it, right? So you look at the PlayStation, and then you have the PS4 Pro, right? It's the same games, but the games run better on PS4 Pro. Look at you got Xbox One, you have Xbox One S, and you have Xbox. Oh, I forgot Xbox. I'm still thinking of Scorpio. What's it called? Xbox One. No, the 4K Xbox.
X. The X.
Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
What the hell is? Whatever. Okay.
It's true. The name is not.
Whatever. So, but the point is that the games are scalable. They're the same games running all these different systems, but they scale, right? Even on the Nintendo Switch, they scale between handheld mode and docked mode. They're different graphical settings. The graphics are better in docked mode, right? Because the Switch ups its clock speed when it can be talked into and being actually plugged into a power source. So the games look better. And even within the games, the Switch games, right, they vary because they have dynamic resolutions and such, right? And the frame rates unfortunately vary too for some games. But you know what I mean. The graphical settings for all these different games are now all programmed to be scalable between different degrees, right? And just like on PC games are scalable depending on the power of the PC.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're in a generation where every single game on all three systems is scalable to some degree, right?
I think the iCore 9 got announced today.
Really?
The Intel 9. Oh. I'm like, Jesus.
The i9.
I have an i5.
The i9 9900K got
Jeez,
announced.
I'm glad I didn't splurge on the i7 because now I'll have to save it for that.
I don't know. I think that's the 8-core version, the cheaper one, because they already had the 18 cores, the 32 cores, the 16.
It comes in this cool box though. It looks like a little thing. I'm like, oh. But yeah, it's pretty expensive. But the PC is always like ahead of the console.
True, but if systems got to a point where they could expand themselves, right? So they can compete and stay on for long. That's why we saw the revisions for the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X. That may be why we're going to see the revision for this Nintendo Switch, because technology is progressing faster and faster. So consoles need ways to upgrade throughout a single generation. So maybe next generation systems will be developed in a way where you can upgrade the devices to some capacity, right? Maybe the core system's the same, but maybe you can increase the RAM or something like that, right? And
I don't think they would do this, because the nice thing about consoles is that you buy it, you sit down, you plug it in, you play your games. That's why a lot of people like consoles over PC, is because there's not the fuss. You don't have to keep changing things and changing your settings, making sure you have the right components to run things at certain resolutions and frame rates. You just plug your box in, you sit back, and the developers already did everything for you, and the game runs,
Yeah, trust me, I know. I've been into PC arguments, but...
Well, I'm just
saying...
More
and more we're, like, seeing how consoles, you kind of have to refresh them every few years.
Well, here's the thing, though. Why can't it still be that? So you get a home console, and you don't have to worry about all the fuss, but let's say, 8K becomes prevalent, and you want your system to become 8K compatible, so instead of being forced to buy a new system after 2 years, there's just a slot where you can slide in a RAM expansion pack, and all of a sudden now your system is 8K compatible. I don't think that really takes away from it being having those benefits of being a game console, right? Like, technically, the Nintendo 64 did just that back in the 90s, just to a much smaller degree, right? So,
I mean, because the consoles are pretty much, their selling point is that it's kind of optimized for that console. my PlayStation Pro games run on the PlayStation Pro. But like on the PC, you kind of have to, see what your computer can handle. And I don't think a lot of developers want to develop a game with that much variables of different what have yous. Like, oh, maybe they have the 8K one, and then
That's
we
a
have
good
to think
point.
about the 4K people, and then the people in the middle. Like,
That's a good point, because let's say we get a Nintendo Switch revision, right? So then all of a sudden, developers have to make a program for 4 different modes for Nintendo Switch, because you have the base Nintendo Switch, which is handheld mode, then docks mode. But if they come out with a more powerful Nintendo Switch, then you have Nintendo Switch Plus handheld mode, then Nintendo Switch Plus docked mode, and then if for whatever reason they decide to come up with like another dock that upscales things to 4K, that's 5 different modes the developers would have to program for. So maybe that would be really annoying. I'm not a developer, but it is more work.
I guess, but like they already have 4 different ones for both 6, because they have on the PS4 Pro. Typically, they have like 1080p modes and 4K modes for like performance and resolution modes. 2 different.
yeah, those are like settings, but like they have to make the game for the different. I don't know. I'm not a developer, but that seems like a lot of
Well, I
fuss.
guess it's possible that it won't be that much of a fuss, because if it just scales like, okay, this game will work in this setting, this game will work in that setting, maybe it's not that much work. Hard to say, because again, I'm not a developer.
But going back to like upgradable consoles, another thing about the consoles is that a lot of games run way better than they should for that hardware compared to PC. If you put a PC with the
That's
exact same
true.
hardware as a console, the console is going to run a lot better than that same PC with the same specs, because
Yeah.
the game is made with that exact chipset and that exact specs in mind. So it's super heavily optimized to run to the absolute max of what that system can do. If you all of a sudden have all these changing parts, you can't do that. You don't have the time to optimize it for every single thing.
Interesting.
So
It's true.
consoles,
Yeah.
that's why the Switch punt is so above its weight, like you said earlier, because developers find ways to just suck all the power out of it, just to make it to its absolute max. If you got a PC with the same specs as the Switch, it probably would be weaker than a Wii U.
Yeah, like, because a PC does more than play games. Some PCs don't even, like, are gaming PCs. So it's kind of a touchy, like, it's more difficult with the PC because there's stuff, I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to get what all these terms on my settings mean for, like, some games.
No,
I'm like, what
trust
the
me, I'm right
fuck?
there with you. It all
What
throws me
is
for a loop.
VSync? Like, what the
I
VSync?
don't know what it means either. I have no
Like-
idea.
Yeah, it's taken me a long time and a lot of research to try to figure it out, and I still don't understand all the settings.
Like, for one game too, it's like I had bought Rise of the Tomb Raider for my
Mhm.
PC, and I'm still like playing with it, seeing which one goes better. Laura's hair is like
No, hair
graphically, oh my god, is like, jeez. And then it was a mess. Like
the
when
moment
I
when you
first,
start having different settings for hair, you know something's up.
yeah, like when I first load the game, it was on the highest of settings, and it looked like trash. I was like, Jesus, PC Master Race, what? Like,
I
yeah,
like
looking-
it when I play PC games and it looks like a blurry box.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, like I played Fortnite with Brandon and like we've jumped down into the map and then, I have it on max settings, but for whatever reason like there's some lag or something, and then I get down to the bottom and I just see a house and it looks like a blurry piece of cardboard.
Yeah, it's like gaming on a PC is a taste, I guess. It's not my preferred way of playing games at all. It's just
I like
it's
I
an
like
acquired
pulling
taste.
this thing and just chilling on my bed and playing Xenoblade. Like, I actually have
Exactly, like-
recently been playing Xenoblade more in handheld mode, even though it looks worse in handheld mode, just because it's, like, comfortable to just play.
I don't
like
want to
this.
like go into the settings all the time or like worry about if it like crashes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of one of those things, just like, well, you got to get the best, and just like smooth sailing after that. But like that's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, especially like story-based games, you don't want to play like the first hour or two of your game and being like fiddling around with the settings and miss everything.
Yeah. Like,
Right. No, that makes sense. But I think we should move forward. So just kind of like final thoughts here. Each of you guys can just tell me what you think is going to happen for the Nintendo Switch Pro. No disagreements. Just say what you think is going to happen, and we'll see what happens in the future. Who wants to go first? I can go first if you guys want me to go first.
okay.
Sure.
Okay, so I think what's going to happen is that we're going to get on the Nintendo Switch next year, and it's going to be more powerful. It's going to be somewhere in the range between Xbox One and PS4 in terms of power, and it's going to cost $400. It's going to have, I'm going to follow that rumor, 120 gigabytes of storage space, right? Not the Marcus Sellers one. I don't believe that shit. Right, but it's going to have 120 gigabytes of storage space. The screen's going to be slightly bigger, but there's still going to be some bezel on there. I guess they'll go for the 1080p since it is going to be a $400 system. And, you know, games are going to have a higher resolution and a more consistent performance. Like older games like Doom's going to run better on this version, but the games are going to be fully compatible between both systems, and that's pretty much how it's going to work. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And maybe it'll have a second, like, little pivoting stick so it can stay consistent in tabletop mode, and the battery life will be better. Yeah, for the kickstand. Yes,
Pivoting
for
stick.
pivoting.
You could buy a peripheral that just has the stand.
Yes, but out of the box now, that'll definitely make it worth the $400. An additional piece of plastic. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I think it'll happen. There is that still a bit of a debate in my head if they'll have some exclusive third parties, but when you guys made great points. Like, considering how burned some Nintendo fans will be and considering how early it is in the Switch's life cycle, it doesn't seem likely. I don't think Nintendo would do that. So I think it's just going to be games that, no matter what, the game's going to work on both systems. Like, maybe there'll have to be some concessions for the base Switch, but it'll still be playable in some form.
Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna go because I was just gonna say I agree with him. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, pretty much, but I do disagree with the date. They might announce it next year and have it the year before, but I don't really think they're gonna have the console by next year.
Okay.
That's just it.
Okay. I do feel like it is a little early, but I just believe the Wall Street Journal report. I just think that the report makes sense, but again, when you break it down, it does feel pretty early, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder if maybe the reason why, if it is coming early, right? If it is, the reason why Nintendo's doing that is because they are worried about the next generation systems. Because I also didn't think the next generation systems were going to come out next year. So that would be come as a bit of a surprise. But I guess we'll find out. Hopefully it is longer, because I'm perfectly happy with my Switch the way it is.
Yeah,
I'm not, but
have mercy on my wallet.
What's wrong with you, Brandon?
I just
You don't love your Switch? Your Switch is crying. Screw you.
I just want to play Xenoblade in 1080p. Is that all? Can a man dream for that?
Right, well, and that's another reason why I kind of like the idea of this, though, because Xenoblade will look better, Doom will look better, Breath of the Wild will have a consistent frame rate in the Lost Woods. So, you know, and Metroid Prime 4 could be coming out next year, and how cool would it be to have that game to look as best as it possibly can? So, if it happens, it happens, but we'll see. I do want to move on, because we're already at the 2-hour mark, and there's still one more topic I want to cover. But is there any final things you want to add about this Nintendo Switch Pro before we move forward?
Nope.
Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. We haven't referenced the chat in a bit. I know you guys are talking about it. A lot of you guys do not like the idea of having, you know, exclusive games on this newer version. Understand that, and maybe that's why Nintendo won't do it. So we'll see. Let me see what was Science Joe saying. He doesn't want this to happen. There just doesn't seem like there's something Nintendo would do. You just want to spend $300 more on an upgraded Switch. Fair enough. Zulaiku is saying, what if a PS5 is a hybrid like the Switch? That would be interesting. That they did complete. What happened with Sony recently? They said they're not going to do the handheld business anymore, or they just say that they're 100% done with the Vita. There was a report about that. Did you guys hear about that?
I have no idea.
They keep saying they don't want to get back to the handheld market because they don't feel like they're competitive in it anymore. I've heard a lot of things that they don't want to get back into the handheld market again.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nintendo kind of spanked them in the handheld market, so I guess I can understand that.
Yeah. I don't think that they would release the PS5 as a hybrid console just because there's no way they're going to get it to be on par or better than their PS4 Pro for anything less than like a gazillion dollars. And they're not going to want to have this shiny new system that's actually weaker than their new system.
It wouldn't be fair to call it a PS5 and it'd be weaker. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah. So, let's move forward, guys, because one more topic we want to cover before we call it a night. And that's basically about a potential Smash Direct happening this week. So, I feel like it's become a bit of a trend here on this podcast. Brandon, I know you can vouch for this, where on several occasions we've been like, oh, there are some rumors maybe suggesting this. Let's have predictions for this, even though it's not officially announced yet. And sure enough, pretty much every time we've done predictions for a Direct or something, it happens. So we're having a Smash predictions topic right now. Hopefully we get a Smash Direct later this week. Basically, the reason why people think there's going to be a Smash Direct this week, aside from just random 4chan rumors, is that there is the last 2 times that we got an update to the fighters list on YouTube, within 10 days there was a Smash Direct. So it happened before the King K. Rool Direct. We got the King K. Rool, we got Simon Belmont on the Direct, and then it happened again before the September Direct where we got the Isabel, the Isabel reveal, right? So twice this has happened, and twice we got a Direct. So there is a history there that suggests that now that it's happened the 3rd time, that we'll be seeing a Direct really soon. And when this happened, it was 10 days ago from, I guess, this Thursday, which I believe is going to be the 10th, right? Or people are saying, well, actually, the 10th will be a Wednesday, so we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens on Thursday, right? But, it could happen this week based off of that alone. And also, the Japanese site for Smash Brothers typically, well, basically they usually have like a new sort of marking on the fighters tab because of when there's a new fighter, like there's Isabel. They took that down, and last time they did that, shortly after, we got a reveal for new fighters. So more evidence suggesting that a new fighter reveal is on the horizon. And a lot of people are predicting that Smash Direct is going to happen this week. A lot of people. So then, guys, how do you feel about this? Do you think a Smash Direct is happening this week?
I would be hyped for it. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
Hopefully we get revealed what this mystery mode is that's still censored.
Right, that has to happen sooner or later.
And some fighters would be nice, so I'm not opposed to it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right.
I just feel like this is coming like right after Sakurai was like, guys, we're not going to be announcing that many characters left and right here. Guys, calm down. Like, stop thinking we're going to announce characters left and right. And then all of a sudden now we think they're going to announce more characters.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because like every time he says, hey guys, don't expect too much.
We all expected a bunch, and then he gives us a bunch.
Right. Well, so here's the thing. Either A, you choose to believe him, right? And when he does surprise us with more than we expected, you're like, hey, I surprised you guys. But there's the other argument where he's just telling us the truth. And we're like, no, he's just trying to lower expectations to really keep us to get us super overhyped when he blows off our expectations. But it turns out, no, I was telling you guys the truth. There wasn't that much to reveal. I told you that. Why did you believe otherwise? I told you there wouldn't be.
Well, it's Nintendo. We're kind of like, hardwired to think that there's like something amazing in the sunset.
There always is.
Because they never tell us the truth. They always tell us
all
this stuff, and it's never true.
Well, like,
it's pretty difficult. Like E3, I thought there was gonna be more than Smash, but it was just Smash, like they said. And I was just like,
But the thing is, they could have shown off more stuff. It's not that they didn't have it, though, right? Because they revealed Luigi's Mansion 3 and Animal Crossing just now, right? And we know Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 have been in development as well. So and Pikmin 4 has been in development for like 4 years and just still haven't revealed it. So, they keep things hidden, and they're always like this is what we're showing. So I think the best way to go is like whenever they have a quote where they're like, hey, keep your expectations in check, this is what we're showing off, that's what you should expect. That way you won't be disappointed, because most of the time when they say something, they do what they said they're going to do, right? They're not like, oh, by the way, even though we only said we're showing 2018 stuff, here's everything we're doing in 2019.
They do show a lot of 2019 stuff though.
They
Yeah, I
do.
did see a
They
lot.
tend to be like, guys.
Like the Kirby Yarn for the 3DS 2019. I'm like, really? Kirby's Epic
Yeah.
Yarn for the 3DS is a port of it. Why do I have to wait till 2019? But okay.
Yeah, it's
There's a
kind of
lot
weird.
of stuff where they're just like, guys, we're only going to tell you what's happening this year, but oh, by the way, also, like, we're also working on all these other things for next year and the year after, but they just told you we were only going to talk about this year, but you just told about things, like the year when they showed off Metroid Prime 4, they said they were only going to talk about that year, and they showed off a ton of games, including Metroid Prime 4, and that game still hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, it's still not even confirmed for 2019. Although
Yeah,
I think it is coming out 2019.
next
It's still
year.
not confirmed for that year.
Well,
so.
it's to be fair, it was a work in progress. I don't think they had a year,
Mhm.
so they kind of
Mhm.
like weaseled their way out of that.
Yeah. But like just kind of bring us back to Smash though, right? I think it's pretty fair to say that we're gonna get some new fighters. There's been some debate. The leakers say the Vergebin leak basically is that there's gonna be some Minecraft content and there's gonna be Incineroar and Ken as an Echo. There are literally people out there that are saying the last two characters is going to be an Echo of for Ryu, which is Ken, and Incineroar, the Pokemon. I'm gonna make one prediction right here. That is not the last two characters, and I think it's kind of dumb to think those are the only two characters. I just don't see them ending things off with a third-party Echo and a Pokemon. I'm not saying those aren't going to be in the game. I just think there's a little bit more than that.
Right. I don't know if I even believe that there's gonna be a direct this week. Like, it seems too.
I mean, last week we were talking about it being in November. We felt like November made sense,
yeah.
but maybe they are going to have a direct this. Like, here's the thing. Some people are talking about, like, if the direct happens this month, then this would be the last direct, right? Like, a lot of people are saying that there would only be one direct. But what if there is two directs? What if we do get one this month and next month?
That's kind of overkill.
I feel like
I
they
just want the
shouldn't.
game. Like, to me, I just want them to reveal what that blurred,
I want them to tell us that it is an amazing single-player mode, and
yeah, that, and I just want the game. Like, I'm not really that into like keeping up with the characters. I would rather just find out as I play the game or hear somebody say it, but I'm not really like, on the seat, like saying, let's go, we're gonna do this Nintendo Direct.
yeah.
I'm just like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
either way,
something.
I'll be happy because I'm really happy with what's in Smash Brothers already. But just to,
I need Banjo.
I want Banjo as
I
well.
don't really care for Banjo.
Yeah,
That's
but
bad.
I think I've settled that Banjo will be a DLC character. I think. I would love to be wrong
It's not
though.
allowed.
I can't even think about DLC for that game. Like, there's so many characters. Like, why
Right.
would you go out and buy another?
I
Yeah.
still need more. I still need Banjo and Rex and Pyra.
I should point out. I
only
should
use
point
two
out
characters.
as Gigi pointed out in the comments that the Vergement League also suggested there's gonna be a Square Enix rep as well, and basically people are thinking it's either Sora or Gino. But as I said earlier in this podcast, I think Sora is gonna make it into Smash Brothers, but he's gonna be a DLC character. He's gonna be like the Cloud DLC from last gen.
Mhm.
Maybe it's gonna be like an Octopath. No, wait, they're pixelated.
I don't think they would.
That wouldn't go very well unless they. That
It would be
weird.
underwhelming.
It's too new. I don't think they'd be able to
Yeah.
get that out by launch.
I don't think
You were
they'll do
predicting
Bravely
Octopath to
Default.
be in Smash. Oh, that'd be fun. But yeah, I don't think that'll happen because it just came out.
Yeah, and the
Um,
characters are like.
But that's
pixelated.
where DLC sort of comes
Yeah,
in,
you-
right? That's where
Characters.
Rex and Pyra and Arms characters kind of have a better shot because
Well, I think Rex and Pyra should be on the original roster, not DLC, because
I would agree,
they're kind
but-
of like.
but
a
most
big
people
deal on the
disagree.
Switch.
So I've accepted that it just won't happen. What?
The only thing is, at least Pyra and Mithra, they just change in between. But Rex, he could go home. I don't care. But
You take that back.
You're trying
You take that back.
I
Rex
actually
is
like
awesome.
Adam better. But
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I mean Adam is a handsome dude,
Mm.
but I think no. I've actually talked about maybe like Adam being an Echo for Rex, right? Where like
I don't think
like
so.
Rex and Pyra, and then an Echo as Adam and Mithra. I talked about it as being an option, but also the idea of being able to switch between Rex and Pyra, you know, kind of like Pokemon Trainer, would be really cool too.
But like, okay, Rex, Pyra could fight on her own, and I don't think Rex should be there because like then Pyra would just have to be like giving him powers. She won't be able to like move. I don't know. Depends on your taste.
Well, I mean,
I would much rather
the way I see it
Pyra
playing,
Mithra.
the way I see it playing is, you know how Rosalina and Luma, they're tethered, right?
Mhm.
So the way I see it playing, right? So like, Rex is gonna do most of the attacks, but Pyra will come in for some of the special attacks, just like the way it plays in Xenoblade 2, and they'll be tethered kind of like Rosalina and Luma, right? But at the same time, you may have the option to switch out your blades. So like in Xenoblade 2, you can switch out your blades, right? So you don't just always use Pyra. Sometimes you switch to Mithra or someone else.
That's too much. Like you see those long ass like swords, and I don't know. I think they'll probably stick to Pyra / Mithra, not like switching out everybody.
Not that there shouldn't be too many blades. I would think is unrealistic. But if it's just switching between Pyra and Mithra, who have basically the same moveset, I think it would be fine.
I
They
don't know.
have
I
pretty,
would
like-
rather control Pyra. She seems more taller, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just
It could be
Oh.
like changing arts when you're playing Shulk, but you change blades. Obviously, not as many,
Mm-hmm.
but sort of like that.
Yeah.
so. They have Shulk. I don't know why they have. Okay, so they shouldn't be DLC. So
Well,
I
I
would
think Rex
hope
and
that
Pyra
they
are coming
wouldn't,
at some point, whether it's base Ross or DLC. They're gonna come eventually because they're too popular. They're just too
Crazy.
popular. So, I think Geno will finally be revealed. That's just saying it. I think Geno will finally be revealed. I'm kind of hoping that the Virgin leak is proven false with this direct, not because I want him to be wrong, but because I like not knowing what's gonna happen, right?
Also, I don't like his predictions because they're not exciting.
Right. It's just
well,
it's
they're
just
kind of realistic. I guess.
canon and
That's why.
Incineroar. It's modest and a Square Enix rep, so it's modest. But
Oh, yeah, 3 characters I don't care about.
I just want to be I just want to be surprised. That's what I really want.
I just use
want
Zelda,
Banjo.
honestly.
What?
I just use Zelda, maybe Lucina.
How cool would it be if they had an echo for Sheik as Impa?
That'd be cool, but Sheik is Zelda's counterpart.
Yeah.
Not, it's like Sheikah is not. Oh, Sheik is not like.
I
It's
know
not
what
Impa.
Sheik is. I know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying that to create an Echo, right? An Echo fighter as Impa, because Impa is a Sheikah, right? And like, I've
She's
always
just
sort of
very
sort of
old.
Impa sort of trained Zelda to be, you know, fight like Sheik.
Future younger Skyward Sword version.
Yeah, I like the Skyward Sword version, or maybe the Hyrule Warriors version. Maybe both. They could be different
Yeah,
like
like,
costume modes.
Maybe Impa is her own character, but not turn to Sheik, because Sheik is like something. Okay, you know who Sheik is, but
Yeah.
yeah, I pretty much stick to the same characters and use females. So
How do you feel about Samus?
she's cool. I mean, not really my favorite. I like Zero Suit Samus better than Suit Samus.
How do you feel about Dark Samus? Dark Samus, I don't really consider a girl. I consider Dark Samus an it. But
I don't really care for Dark Samus.
mm,
Like I said, I like playing Zero Suit Samus because it's more agile. I don't know.
She
Just feels more
Zero
fluid.
Suit Samus is really good in Smash Bros. Wii U. Like, I got wrecked a lot with Zero. Like, Zero Suit Samus can do some crazy combos and basically like push you up to the top of like the map, and because you're so high up, like she could just die real quick, real easily. I hate it because I would get schooled by people who were good with Zero Suit Samus. But I'm actually kind of excited because the game's like really fast, right? Like I like using Link, and Link has kind of been bad in a lot of games, partially because he's slow, and it looks like every character's been Well, yeah, that's why a lot of people like Toon Link because he's a lot faster. But I like that everyone's been sped up in this game, even the heavier characters. So I'm feeling.
Oh,
I'm
Lucina
curi-
must be like a freaking bullet because
Yeah.
she's already fast on her own.
Yeah,
I loved playing as Lucina because she's so fast.
I like Lucina more than Marth, even though
Oh yeah.
they're the same. Oh, minus the blade tip, right? Which I think like more competitive players, more experienced players would say Marth is better because you can get more damage off the tip if you know how to land the tip more often.
Tip of death.
The-
Like, yeah.
But I
like a
just
one-shot
like
kick.
Lucina. She's just cool. So
Yeah.
let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Oh, wait, Sancho has he has a theory. He's a theory. Please read. I have a huge theory on the roster count. The new game mode Smashdown can be a player up to 4 people, so that means that the final count will have to be a multiple of 4. Okay, so and right now there are 69 fighters, including Echoes, and not me fighters. Pokemon Trainer count is 1. I'm confused. I think I know what you're talking about, though, because if you look at the fighter page, it tells you how many characters there are, and it counts Pokemon Trainer as 1, but not the Mii fighters, because it
what
comes
he's
down to
saying
character
is,
slots. The amount of character slots, whatever it is, have to be divisible by 4.
Well, in Smashdown, if you play as a character, nobody else can play as that character again for the next match.
Right.
So what he's saying, you have 4 people, it needs to be divisible by 4 so that the final match uses up all the characters.
Right,
But I mean,
here's a counterpoint to that. Even though I like that theory, what if you play Smash Down with 3 players? Is
Right.
that not an option?
Yeah, and also there would just be leftover players. So
Yeah, I feel like it's not a bad bet to say that there will be, that whatever the roster will be, it'll be divisible by 4. That's not a bad bet. I'm a pretty big fan of blog theory that could just kind of going by the numerical pattern of character reveals, looking at the metadata and sort of predicting how that's going to end up. And basically the prediction is it's somewhere between 6 and 8 characters. So if you want to go more modest, it could be 6 more character reveals, right?
I just want to order my poster, man.
Yeah, from GameStop.
Like, they always keep adding one. I'm like,
yeah,
what is it,
I-
Dad?
I was gonna like try to update my background on my PC every time they update. I was like, nah, just gonna keep
I
it.
want a
a nice
whole
one.
tapestry across my wall, the entire full-on Smash roster.
Yeah, I want one like above my TV. Like, I have the perfect place. Boom.
I think I want it going across
Mm.
all 4 walls of my room, rotating.
That's
but
too much.
That's way too much. It is.
It's just wallpaper.
I want it like framed. And
It'd be cool if I could just put it along that wall. I would replace those posters and put them elsewhere, and just. I feel like I don't know. Like, you see how I have that Breath of the Wild one. Imagine it being that length, but just like way longer. Like maybe.
Well, I have the
you s-
bigger version, like behind my TV, my computer.
Awesome.
It's kind of big, so it's like
So I'm trying to remember, where can I go to see the. Okay, so right now it says that there are 72 current fighters, but this counts Pokemon Trainer as 1, and it includes Echoes, right? It counts the Mii fighters as individual characters, but it counts Pokemon Trainer as 1 fighter. So you're predicting that there will be how many more fighters, Joe? Let me
please
see.
let it be an even number.
You think there might be 80 fighters, including Echoes and Mii's and Pokemon Trainer as 1, and they'll announce the final roster count. So do you think there could be 8 more? That would technically fall under blog theory, but just on the highest end. On the highest end of blog theory. And I don't think it's necessarily impossible, because they could reveal the final characters late in and then just have the final roster reveals like kind of taper off after the game comes out. Like the fighter actual blog updates, I mean, not the actual full reveal. So it makes sense if like half of those are Echo fighters. It's not a stretch. I mean, I've come up with like predictions where I think there'll be like 3 more Echoes and 5 more unique fighters. So definitely not believable for sure. Let me see. Wait. Property Brothers. Ivan Eagle saying that Property Brothers confirmed as Echo Fighters and Tilted Towers as a new stage.
It's
What?
just a joke. joke.
Oh, okay. it's a
Property
joke.
Brothers or somebody on HGTV.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. It's a joke. Oh, okay. Like what?
You're just like, wait, who are the Property Brothers? Let me look this up.
What is
What
this?
Nintendo character
What
is
is
this?
this? Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Property
So,
Brothers?
who do you think will get revealed? So, would you say that if the direct happens this week, if it happens this week, is it the last direct for Smash Brothers?
No. I think it'd be
Um,
small.
If it's this early, I would agree that it's no. That there will be one more direct after this if it happens this week.
they have to reveal what that blurred out
Absolutely.
thing
They gotta
is,
reveal
so
it. I
there
feel
has to
like
be one.
I feel like it's time to reveal the Spirits mode. Whenever they have the next Smash Direct, I agree with you that they gotta reveal that Spirits mode.
That makes sense. I mean, why hint it in the last direct, have another direct and not talk about it? That'd be retarded. Then maybe that's what this direct's all about. Maybe it's only about the Spirits mode. Maybe they announce like 1-2 more characters, but then they have another like final
Because it
direct
has to
where
be
they
like
reveal everything.
a big mode for them to dedicate a.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
use this direct.
And they would
to
tease it if they were something big.
Yeah, I agree that if the previous direct they used to tease the Spirits mode, I think they would need to use a direct to fully talk about that. And they could have a couple reveals there, which is why that they. And you know what? This is my prediction. We're gonna see Geno revealed along with the Spirits mode. Because I feel like the story of Geno, he's a dolphin from RPG that he was like, there's like a spirit that came from Star Road and he took on the form into a doll, right? So he's like a spirit, basically. Geno is technically a spirit that's in a doll. So what if in Spirits, it's all about collecting spirits and bringing them back to the actual fighters, right? Like we've seen in all the different reveal trailers that different characters have died, right? So what if it's about bringing those spirits back and Geno plays a role into that story, right? So I really like the idea of that. Heck, what if they do a reveal for Geno where they make it look just like the beginning for the original Smash 64? Where, you know,
maybe go back to them being puppets and not trophies.
Yeah, well, I mean, I literally made a video, like when I made that video arguing for Geno and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I put as the intro the beginning of Smash 64 where you see the hand pull up the dolls. It'd be so cool to see a doll like in the intro for Smash 64 like in HD, except it's Geno, and that'd be cool. And I think it could really play into the whole story of Spirits mode if it does fall under what seems to be being teased with all these different spirits and characters dying and such.
I don't think there's gonna be a spirit mode. I mean, I thought when Luigi died in that trailer, it was more for the laughs than he actually like freaking died. But I think he actually like died. I don't know.
Well, keep in mind that King K. Rool also killed King Dedede, right? Ridley killed Mega Man and Mario.
Well,
So,
they just like, well, that's true. Like someone's out killing people.
yeah.
'Cause-
People be dying.
And it looks like the bad guys are taking out the good guys.
No,
So
isn't that how it is? Like the
well,
bad guys.
not necessarily, like in Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, they didn't have like a theme, right? But like in the King K. Rool Direct, they showed that little montage of art where they showed Mario versus Bowser, Wolf and Falco versus Fox and Falco versus Wolf, Link versus Ganondorf. They showed Samus versus Ridley, and then they showed the trailer for Donkey Kong versus King K. Rool. So it looks like they're playing into that like villains versus good guys sort of theme. So I don't know, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. We don't know. That's why probably one of the reasons why they need to have this direct so we can finally know what the Spirits mode is, because we're really close to the reveal already. Not the reveal, the release for Smash Brothers. Like we're
like
2 months
imagine
away.
we have to find out when we buy the game.
Wait,
like,
what?
Oh,
We have to-
we have to find out when we buy the game.
Oh man, there's no way that'll happen because the reviews. I won't
Yeah,
watch. I wouldn't
that's
watch the
true.
reviews then because I don't want to be spoiled. I would either
I
want.
don't think they will do that though.
Yeah,
I
no.
already
I-
said all the
so-
characters will be announced before.
Yeah, that's true. We already know that they're gonna reveal all the characters, and they're probably gonna reveal, I think they have to reveal the single player mode before. They're gonna reveal pretty much everything before the game comes out,
I
minus
think
like
they're
stickers.
gonna reveal Pyra and Rex. That's just my theory.
I hope so. I love Rex, and they're my most wanted characters. Most wanted characters for Smash Brothers. So, yeah.
Then
Well,
Banjo.
and Banjo. Always Banjo.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think it was a talk about
What
the
about
story.
No.
ukulele?
No,
Never.
Get that crap out. That is blasphemy.
Imagine your face. They have-
Oh, it'd be an Animal Crossing.
It would be almost as bad. It wouldn't be as bad as Steve.
I don't. He
At
just
least
looks odd. I don't.
Popular game.
What if they have the Fortnite people?
Oh, even
Stop.
worse.
Stop.
Even
I don't
worse.
even know who the characters are.
Okay. Who would be the main character for that, anyways?
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I think they're going to talk about the spirits mode. I think there'll be like 1 or 2 character reveals, but I think it'll be kind of shorter, more focused on modes, less on character reveals, and they'll have a one last big.
What if they
direct
do
event.
like a battle royale, like mode?
Oh jeez.
Be so
That would
cool.
be so disappointing. I would cry. But
There's a
How
couple
would that
characters that
work?
kind of make sense to reveal soon, because there's a whole like thing about Incineroar happening with Pokemon anime, and Pokemon Let's Go is coming out within a month, so maybe they reveal a Pokemon character. But I also think they could maybe have Rayman in the game, and since Starlink is coming out and Ubisoft this month, maybe they reveal Rayman this month. I don't know. They could reveal him next month. It doesn't matter. I'm just going with Geno with the Spirits mode. That's what I'm rolling with. They might have 1 or 2 more characters there, and then the final direct will reveal everything else.
Mhm.
I think the
Let's
last
set up-
direct will reveal like more. So let's say there's 8 characters left, which is an optimistic prediction, but I'm not gonna say it's wrong because based off the Smash Ballot and even that Smashdown theory, 8 could fit. So if there's 8 left, I think they would reveal 1 or 2 this direct, and then the final 6 would be in the last direct, right? But or even if there's only 6 characters left, they will reveal 1 or 2 during this direct, and the last one they'll show off, 4 more characters. Like I think they need to end it off like showing like kind of like a relatively larger number than usual for the final direct.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because I don't think they would just have like 1 more character to reveal, with the final Smash Direct, right? Like they would want to kind of go out with a bit of a bang. Even if the last character isn't like super hype worthy, if they have like a couple characters to show off at the end, that would definitely it'll raise hype for several different fan bases.
I mean we're already hyped, but
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like even though I want all these characters, the way the roster is already, the way the game is already, I'm like, oh, I want this now. Like it looks amazing. I love that they remade all the melee stages. I'm happy that they're bringing back a real classic mode, not fake classic mode for Smash for Wii U. I love that they're bringing back the real tournament mode. I hope that they bring back Board the Platform and Target Break and Race to the Finish. Those are really cool side modes. I hope they bring those back and add a few new ones that are really good. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for.
okay. There's just gonna be a lot of characters. Like, oh,
There's already a lot.
Yeah. There's already a bunch.
choose your player. You're gonna spend like an hour,
Like,
Yeah.
Oh man. Just randoms all day.
and then you got the different skins. And,
So then, Brandon, you think there's gonna be 1 or 2 more characters revealed, but who do you think they are?
This is always hard because they
You
fit
never
in the
know.
weirdest characters in the weirdest places. And
That's
it's like,
true.
Okay.
Well, Isabel came out with Animal Crossing reveal.
Yeah,
Kinda
but nobody.
weird.
The Animal Crossing was just like,
That's just
Her movesets are so like weird.
yeah, they are. But with Animal Crossing it was easier to predict because that was the leaked game. Like this is not a direct. It's just they only talk about Smash, so
it's
would
so
have to be
hard to
something-
predict.
it's so hard. And we don't know what this new mode's gonna be. So if it's tied into the new mode, it could be anything. But yeah, Geno makes the most sense if your theory is correct. But if your theory is wrong, then like who knows what theory is true? It's like I don't know.
Oh, maybe
Um,
Isaac would be a great time, because if Isaac
Yeah.
is in the base roster, I feel like he should be shown off in the next direct, because after the King K. Rool direct, Sakurai put out that picture that's reminded
true.
people of Golden Sun. So if Isaac is a fighter, I think he's going to be revealed as well. So Geno
Well,
and
then
Isaac...
I'll predict Isaac from Golden Sun, and since the last direct had that tease supposedly for was it Ninja Joe? What's his name
yeah,
Rhythm
Karate
Game
Joe.
Heaven?
Karate Joe.
They'll
From
announce
Forest-
him as well
From Rhythm Heaven or something.
because of that supposed reference.
Yeah.
In the, and King K. Rool reveal.
So here's the thing about both of those teases, though, right? So the Golden Sun tease, it very well may have been a tease for actually Isaac from Golden Sun, but here's the thing: that image also showed assist trophies on the side, and Isaac used to be an assist trophy in Brawl, and he was taken out of Smash Wii U. What if they bring back Isaac from Golden Sun, but he's not a fighter? He's just an assist trophy.
People would cry.
People would cry.
Not me, because I don't
It's also
care
possible.
too much.
Golden Sun's not that popular of a franchise, so maybe. But at the same time, he was a popular character in the Smash ballot, so maybe he will get the upgrade. And then Karate Joe is also one of those characters that is not that popular. People would be happy about it, but not like millions of people, right?
Right.
And then the thing is
Waluigi.
that no,
Waluigi, no.
he's in a
I
s-
think it's
Waluigi.
like Sakurai just doesn't want to because
just to spite everyone. Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I don't want him to put him in just to spite everyone. People would be jerks on the internet.
Yeah.
Not everyone,
Mhm.
obviously, but some people be crazy.
But poor Waluigi.
Poor
Yeah.
Waluigi. But the memes, though, they're hilarious.
At least it's an assist trophy. Nothing to deal with the pressure of being a fighter. It's a lot
He
of
could be
pressure.
no, he can't be Wario Seko
No.
because they're
No.
different sizes.
Well, probably not. I don't think people would be happy about that because it wouldn't really represent what Waluigi is.
Waluigi is like just the Luigi of Wario, which is like his sidekick, which is nobody important.
I think
It's like the Toads from Super Mario Bros.
yeah, they're not that
It's a
important
little
either.
He doesn't have any game. He's have his own game.
Like
Yeah.
there's no like story behind him, or he's just
Nobody
Waluigi.
knows why.
He's just Wario's brother. So I don't get why people are so upset. There's not really like Waluigi lore or something.
He's just mad that he didn't get invited to play tennis. That's all he is.
Well, he does play tennis.
No, I mean, but in the original game where he was, Mario didn't want him to play tennis with him, so then they duked it out. All he wanted to do was join Mario's tennis team, but now Mario wasn't having it.
So I want to say one thing though. I was just talking about the Karate Joe thing. So like Isaac, how he could just not end up being just just not a tease for fighter, but just a tease for assist trophy. Karate Joe, it may have not even been a tease because the thing is that position for Donkey Kong is a very common position, just in like Japan in general and like Eastern culture of like just being lazy and chilling. So it might not have been an actual tease.
Did we watch the same like direct? Because I didn't see all like this foreshadowing.
It's very
Subtle.
Chilling.
it's subtle.
I mean, you gotta have to be like a real like theorist or leaker.
So like.
Frame by frame in this stuff.
So like, there's a history of like I guess maybe, of like Sakurai teasing things. Well, this is one thing that is 100% true. This is not like up for debate. Okay, so remember Luigi in the King K. Rool Direct, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember his Poltergeist or Poltergust? That model is the same model he's using in Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a new model. So they teased Luigi's Mansion 3 in the Smash Direct with when they revealed Simon Belmont. That was Sakurai hinting at Luigi's Mansion 3. So that's a legitimate like tease. That's not up for debate. Like he literally used the model for a new game. It was not
But
based off an
is
old
it-
model.
There's no Luigi with Poltergeist in the Smash roster. So right off the bat, it's like a tease because he's not even in Smash. Well, Luigi with the Poltergeist.
Just with his final Smash.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't be like that's that's a cool tease because most people go pick it up.
Right.
But like the positioning of his like
Yeah,
his
Donkey Kong's
scheme,
positioning,
like I don't think
maybe.
why
Another.
is it a tease when people can't
So here's a really subtle tease that is up for debate. So if you go back to the E3 Direct and you watch Sakurai in his room, he had like barrels and a wooden ladder, like a wooden rope ladder, the same kind of stuff that you see in Donkey Kong, like by his house. So then, was that a tease for King K. Rool, or was it just coincidentally barrels and a rope ladder in his room?
I mean, he's a creative guy. I don't know.
But
Like,
who puts rope ladders in that room? Unless you're.
It's
Well, Sakurai's a pretty dope guy, but I don't.
Yeah,
see
it's kind of a
rope
random
ladders
thing
in
to
the
have in your room. So you
I don't
could
know
make the
these
argument that
creative
he
guys.
was teasing a new Donkey Kong character, the previous direct, maybe. Definitely a possibility.
maybe he was just like renovating, and his wife likes wood.
Maybe so. That's also true. A lot of people are hoping that he does tease like that because in the King K. Rool Direct, The room had a yellow and purple pillow that were the colors of Tattle and Tail from Majora's Mask, and there was not pillows, there were chairs, and then on the couch there were pillows in the colors of Skull Kid. So people are hoping that Skull Kid was being teased in that direct. But we're looking at the colors of chairs and pillows here, right? So is it really a tease, or is it just us looking to find something?
It's Nintendo merch, and he's a Nintendo, like, big person, so of course they're gonna make the room have Nintendo merch.
Well, it wasn't actually Nintendo merch, though. It was just random furniture.
I don't know if there's, like, actual, like, reason for it, or if he's like, let me put this, like, invisible sound that only, like, people who actually really go into the files of the thing and extract it could find out. Like, I don't think he would do that.
Yeah, well, there's tons of people who are always, like, overanalyzing this. I think Sakurai does tease stuff, but I think sometimes we want to see something when it's not really there, or maybe it is a tease, but it's not teasing quite what we think it is, right? It could be something a little different. But yeah, we'll see.
Definitely he could be creative, and directors they're known to, like, tease stuff because they obviously know what's gonna be in the final product, so they want to, like, troll people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like,
Right.
maybe.
If I was Sakurai, I'd go on 4chan and just start putting out random stuff, like half true, half false. See if people pick up on it.
Yeah.
Maybe Sakurai is the one that started the Minecraft Steve rumor.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. It'd be funny.
I don't really like Minecraft in there, but
No.
I just think it makes more sense to represent a stage. Like for the Monster Hunter, we get the Rathalos as an assist trophy and boss. That makes more sense. I love Monster Hunter, but I don't want Monster Hunter to be a fighter, because Monster Hunter is about hunting monsters, not about the hunter, right?
I put in like over 100 hours in Monster Hunter Ultimate Generations. I am, a Monster Hunter fan.
Same. And how do you feel about having a fighter in Smash? Are you okay with?
Well, that won't make sense because the fighters are customized, the farmers customized.
Exactly.
So Rathalos is cool.
Yeah. I think maybe they could have
kind of smaller than before, but whatever.
True. But they gotta fit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yep. Anyways, I feel like we've come to a natural conclusion. Is there any final thoughts you guys want to put in before we call it a night, guys? It doesn't have to be about Smash Bros. It could be about anything.
Yeah, I don't know if there's gonna be a Smash. I don't know if I believe that there's really gonna be a Smash.
We'll find out tomorrow when they announce it, Brandon.
Right. I mean, they could happen. I'm just not like, oh, it's definitely gonna happen. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50.
It would give me a video to make, so.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, it gives us more to talk about.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I have a lot of videos that are just on my back burner that I haven't gotten to. I have like these notepads that I'm constantly adding more video ideas.
Do you have ideas? You mind sharing?
No.
No?
They're top secret.
I'm just playing. That's all.
Hey, if you want to do one, you could do a debunk video for Minecraft, Steve. Go ahead.
I don't even.
You and the rest of them.
Minecraft.
Well, so like, I mean, I could give you some ideas.
No, I was just joking. It's fine.
I mean, I kind of want to show off and just like, oh, I have all these different ideas. Look.
Look at me.
Or like for example, tomorrow I'm probably gonna try and come out for my argument for Rayman Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then on Wednesday I want to try and make a video talking about the potential for Zero Suit Samus and Metroid Prime 4. So some ideas I have planned for the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really cover Smash topics.
Yeah. Well, Zero Suit Samus is technically the Metroid Prime topic, but yeah, I try to do more theory stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm not that creative. I'm like. Sometimes I think outside the box, and it's gonna happen. Like, I called Smash was gonna be revealed. I called that. But like, I'm not like theories or something.
Mm-hmm. No,
Like, intuition. Like, it might. It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, the fun thing about making theories is that you're gonna be wrong a lot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like people won't be mad if you're wrong because they're just theories.
Sometimes not. Like I remember when I did the argument for King K. Rool video, and then like a week later, King K. Rool was revealed. Some people were like, "Oh, you got it wrong," because like, but I talked about it. So then some people were like, "Oh, you got it right. Congrats." I don't know,
Yeah.
but I've done like a lot of predictions. And most people don't seem to care. Just kind of like I think people understand that you're making a theory, right? So if you explain your argument, as long as you're not lying, you're being honest with people. It's like, hey, look, this is this theory I have, and this is why I think it's happening. You know, you're just explaining your reasoning. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a problem. If you have something to say, you say it. But
Well, I could just like say, "Oh, I think this is gonna happen." That's it.
yeah,
I don't
But,
really have much basis for my imaginations, I guess.
well, sometimes you just need to have a gut feeling, right?
Yeah,
I
sometimes
remember-
do.
I remember before the Nintendo Switch was revealed, I was on the side of it not being a hybrid. I didn't think it made sense. That it made sense back then. I felt like, oh no, there's no way you could have a system that would be powerful enough to be a home console and also a handheld. And I was also making the argument that why would Nintendo only have one system when they could have two and make more money? Like I made all these really good arguments, right? Like why it just didn't make sense for Nintendo to have a hybrid console. Except, it turned out that, nope, there's a hybrid console, right? Like, so, you know.
I mean, you love your Switch, so
Oh, I love my Switch now. I'm happy with it.
you're happy you're
I'm
wrong.
I'm not one of those people
I'm
that's
ready
like,
to throw mine out the window for a more powerful version.
Oh
I'm
my-
one of those people who would like to have a new iPhone every year. I just like new tech. I just like.
I slept with my Switch last night. I hugged it to sleep. I'm not even joking. I really did.
Did you fall asleep with your? Did you fall asleep while playing a game or something?
I was playing Xenoblade 2 last night. Torn to the
You
Golden
can hear
Country.
the little fan on top.
Yeah,
When it's like doing something like more intensive. You can like hear it.
yeah.
like,
Sometimes
oh
I just
my
like
God.
feeling the hot air.
I'm working hard.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with my Switch. Like it's never like people have talked about it getting warped and stuff. Mine is pretty
Mine's fine.
good. Oh my
Mine
god,
is-
no, it's warped. Nah, I don't feel like it's warped. It doesn't look warped here.
Mine is like great. Well, I like have mine stocked most of the time, so
I play both. I think I might be 60-40 currently, where 60% of the time I'm handheld, 40% docked. It's mainly just because I
I'm,
don't have a
like,
remote for my
always
television,
docked.
so I never turn it on. It's easier just to pull it out.
Mine is always docked.
I'm with you there.
Mine is 95% docked.
But what about when Pokemon
Why,
comes
why
out?
do you want
Oh, I
power?
can't wait until Pokemon comes out. I'm so happy for Pokemon Let's Go. Oh, but you can't. Can you play it in handheld mode? Oh, I can't-
Yeah, you can. Why would you not be able to?
I mean, is that even like a question?
That's not a question. You can play it in handheld mode.
Sure.
In fact, earlier just came out information that you don't need to use motion controls while in handheld mode. They specified you can just hit the A
Oh, okay,
button.
good. I was gonna get confused with another game.
You get confused with Mario Party, I'm sure. 'cause you can't
Yeah,
play that in
Mario
handheld
Party.
mode.
You cannot play in handheld mode.
Yeah, you have to put it in the kickstand, which I no longer have because it's lost somewhere.
Wait, you have to have it. The kicks. How does that work?
Well, you can just set it down, but I mean, like, you need it to be.
You either have it on the
tabletop mode.
TV or the kickstand,
Yeah, it's either on the TV or it's in tabletop mode.
but the Joy-Cons have to be like free.
Yeah, you have to have them separate.
So
They
that's
can't
how it registers. Like if the Joy-Cons are plugged into the system, it's like, nope, you can't do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
some of the mini games for some reason you need them separate. I don't know. I've heard that if you play the game, it makes sense. Like, yeah, it wouldn't really work with a Pro controller or with the controllers connected. But I don't know because I haven't played it. But from
There should
people
be
who have
like
played it,
different
it makes sense.
modes, like Pro Controller mode. You have Pro Controller games.
Yeah, that would have made sense, but I don't know.
Too much sense.
Yeah. So
Would
guys,
have been more work.
Amanda, how about you go ahead and share your channel, plug yourself.
I have a channel called Mandy Lee Plays where I cover games, mostly Nintendo, but when I feel like it, I'll talk about Sony. And rarely do I touch Xbox, but I'll talk about stuff about that too. But
Maybe with a long stick.
yeah, like it's nothing really positive, but okay, so yeah, that's just my channel. And my Twitter handle is the same name as my channel, but at Mandy Lee Plays. So you can follow me there.
Yep, and the link to her channel is in the description below, as well as the name of her channel. So if you want to find her on Twitter, just put the @ there. The information is down below. That information is also there for Brandon. If you haven't been to Brandon's channel before, What About Nintendo? Brandon, do you want to plug your channel? Or you want to tell people how you talk about how bad Nintendo? Just kidding.
I'm always talking trash about Nintendo because Sega do what Nintendo don't, so obviously Nintendo sucks. But no, for reals, tomorrow I'm going to put out a video for... I got a lot of information, a lot of digging, got a lot of facts about all the specs of different NVIDIA products and the specs of the current consoles and all this stuff, and I'm formulating a video about if the Switch Pro... if it came out 2019, if it could be as powerful as a PS4 Pro, or a normal PS4, excuse me. So that's going to be coming out tomorrow. I put out videos typically 2 to 3 times a week. I do gaming live streams 2 to 3 times a week. And I do coffee talk typically several times. Oh, I try to do Monday through Friday, where I talk about the Nintendo news live, kind of like a tiny little mini bite-sized podcast every day. So, yep.
Jeez, you made my channel look like...
Oh, I was sleeping. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, guys. I'm gonna try and come up with a Rayman video tomorrow. Also, how do you guys feel about me streaming Ocarina of Time 3D in HD running on Citra? I was trying it out a couple weeks ago and it looks really good. So I'm thinking about getting that started. But yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about before we call it a night, or are we good to go, ladies and gents?
I'm exhausted.
Alright. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much. Make sure to check out Amanda from Mandy Lee Plays. Check out my bro Brandon from What About Nintendo. And thank you so much for listening and watching. Leaving a like would be appreciated. Alright. Good night, guys.